Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. My co-host is still on a different schedule than me, so he's not here at the moment, but hopefully he'll stop by. Today we're going to talk about two of my favorite people over on Twitter, and if you know how I use the word favorite people when it comes to social media, that should give you an example of what we're going to be talking about, because holy shit, these two guys are fucking morons. We'll have a little bit of AOC news because that's what we do around here, and then we'll just talk about the world in general. But first, we have a sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Monkey in the Morning. If you enjoy what I do here, please hit that like button, share, and consider contributing financially. Krassensteins. I don't know how to describe these guys other than con men. Con men seems to be the best way to do it. Sorry, I was in the middle of this rant where I wasn't saying at all, and Zombie Teddy put Stacey Dash in my comments, and whatever I was saying was gone. Stacey Dash. I should probably bring up my Discord so we can take our Stacey Dash moments. The Dash. That's not Discord. That's Steam. Wrong one. Our Dash interventions for when I get too upset and need to calm down. So, the Krassenstein brothers, Ed and Brian, they are part of #Resist. In fact, they're a pretty big part of #Resist. They have, let's see, I haven't looked recently. Ed has 863,000 followers, while his slightly more retarded younger brother, Brian, has 624. Now, when I say one is younger and one's older, I have no idea. I believe they're twins, and I don't really care. Brian looks like he's the younger, dumber one, so I'm gonna use that as our measuring stick. So don't take that part seriously. The rest of this you can take seriously. So these two assholes, they are part of the #Resist leadership. Anytime Donald Trump tweets, these two I don't know if they have like Donald Trump radar, or if Twitter gave them a direct connection, or if they literally sit around refreshing Twitter 24/7 waiting for Trump to tweet. But as soon as he does, they are among the first people to do it. And that's how they got their street cred as the #resistance leadership. They're very much like Amy Siskind, if you know who she is. If you don't know who she is, well, you're probably better off, because she's a moron too. The Krassenstein brothers have decided they're going to make a new venture. Real quick, Nuet says, "Why follow these window lickers?" Well, I find them endlessly hilarious because they take themselves a little too seriously in their zealous hatred of Trump, and they often end up saying stuff really stupid. One of my favorite things they do is they'll retweet their own tweets, but without retweeting it. And so, like, he did it just today. I think it was Ed. He tweeted something out that looks like a brand new post, but if you watch the account, he actually posted the same thing like 4 or 5 days ago. Sinatra, what you up to, bud? You want to come hang out? Anyway, these two idiots have decided they're going to make a podcast. Which is fine. Anybody can make a podcast, but their voices, oh my God, their voices. I thought what they said was bad. I thought the stupid shit that came out of their mouth, well, out of their fingers, was dumb enough. But when you actually, I think if I had to actually hear what they said in their own voices, now that I've heard their voices, these guys have been on what was it? Vice, I think, did a big to do about them one time. And they continually retweet that as well. They're endlessly narcissistic. I haven't really listened to them talk in those because it's like, who gives a fuck? But they put out this commercial for their new, what do they call it? Krassencast. And I'm gonna link it into the chat here if you guys want to go watch it. And you really should, because it starts out with one of them, and like I said, I can't tell them apart. One of them looks like his head stuck in the vagina longer than the other.
What did you say Vice did? A big what?
A story on the Krassenstein brothers.
How did you word it?
I don't remember what I say.
You said a
So without further ado, guys.
Right?
How you been, bud?
What do you mean how I've been? We talked like yesterday.
That's a day apart, man.
I'm doing well, Monkey. How are you?
Not as good as I was yesterday, better than I was last week. So we're gonna call it a win.
Okay, fair enough.
Did you see the Krassenstein's announcement for their podcast?
Yeah, isn't it like Krassencast or something?
Krassencast, yes, and Krassencast.com.
Krassencast, Doc. They're probably teaming up with Opie Radio so they can get a combined of 50 views.
Well, the thing is, they'll get a lot of views. These two, they don't get a whole lot of retweets like you would expect for somebody with the size they have. I just gave the numbers. One of them is at 600,000 I mix up the words for followers depending on the social media. Needs to come together and just pick one goddamn word for follower. I feel like that's something that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we all have different, like, I don't know, mine are Nazis. It's everyone.
I call mine viewers or fans. Some of them are fans of me. Some of them are just viewers of me. And I think both of those cover it. But one of these idiots, I can't remember if it's Brian or Ed. I think it's Brian, has 650,000 followers. Ed has 850,000. They have a lot of followers. And they end up with like maybe 100 retweets, maybe, if they're lucky, depending on the timing of their tweet, maybe 1,000 likes. That's not a good ratio. It's really not.
No, that's pretty rough.
But I think it is enough for them to get the Krassencast off the ground.
Krassencast.
But in this video, guys, there's a very awkward moment. There's an incredibly awkward moment. We're going to say it's Ed who's talking first, just because I don't know their names. The one who looks like his head was stuck in the vagina longer, we're going to call that Brian.
Okay. It's like the Abby and Brittany debacle.
Yeah. We'll call him left and right as we're watching it. So right is the one who starts off talking, and he's talking about stuff, and he's making jokes about how they're paid by Soros and how I don't know. It's hard to listen to these idiots. Well, then right, you know what? I actually have my left and right backed up. I'm doing it as though I'm them instead of as looking at it. If you're looking at it, sorry. Right is the one who starts talking first. Left then starts beatboxing really bad.
What? Is there a video for this?
Yeah, dude. This is their launch trailer for the Krassencast.
I need to see this.
I'm throwing it into the chat again.
Right.
There it is.
The
So,
right. Let's see if I can. All right. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I wish I could show it. Yeah, I'll let you go watch. I wish I could show it, guys. My crappy internet doesn't allow me to do that. But so
I think I can pipe the audio through.
Let's see. Do I have to share you or anything, or no? Just
give me 1 second. I gotta actually manually download the video.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because you guys got to hear this. It's so bad, and the part that has everybody really weirded out. I can actually fast forward so you guys can at least see it.
Okay. I got the audio. Are you ready?
Yep.
So, unlike what some of you guys think, we aren't actually funded by George Soros. In fact, everything we do, we pay for ourselves. So, we couldn't afford a real
They
commercial.
need some audio help.
Instead, we're just making one ourselves.
Yeah, you could tell
Boom.
themselves.
Boom. Boom, cub. Boom.
You see this?
Retweet that.
Boom,
Retweet
cub.
that.
Boom. Impeach Trump 2019.
We love the
Boom.
FBI. We
Boom.
love the FBI. Okay,
That-
in all seriousness. Okay,
That is
so
the whitest
we launched
beatboxing in
our
history.
podcast, and we
I want that for my
intend to
soundboard.
focus on the facts. We intend to have guests on our show, from politicians to entertainers to resistance.
I want to share the
icons to
screen for this part
resistance
here.
grifters, whoever we can come up with. But the important thing
53.
is we're going to fact check everything that Trump says, does, and we're going to throw some humor into it. We know that
You could tell
this
they're
is
very humorous.
quite
but you're
an
not funny.
interesting time, and it's not something a lot of you guys want to even think about. So we want to make sure that with our facts, we also
With their facts.
what are you doing? I don't know.
Now,
My brother.
Pause it for a second there, Sinatra.
We want to make sure that
That part right there where he says, "What are you doing?" That's his brother coming over and very creepily giving him a hug. I mean, it is a creepy hug, and it's kind of, you can see on the screenshot I'm sharing right now the start of this hug. I implore you guys to actually watch it because it is so fucking weird.
Boom,
It is so weird.
boom.
Anyway, if you want to finish playing the audio, we're not too far out.
All right.
with the facts, we also kind of lighten things up a bit. And that's what Krassenstein is going to be about. So if you guys want to join our Patreon, you can do so right down here, or it's going to be actually free. The Patreon just offers some exclusive content, extras, and I think that's all we have to say. Yeah, so stay tuned.
So they're offering a Patreon without even putting out their first thing.
Yes.
Nice. That's good.
Well, these two, I've talked about the Krassensteins before, and for those of you who don't know, they are actually con men. They used to run a website, several websites actually, that would point people to pyramid schemes, and they like to mention that they were never convicted of anything, and that's true. They weren't. Largely because they turned over $450,000 to the government.
Oof.
You know, because they did nothing wrong.
Yeah, multi-level marketing does really well, from what I heard.
Yeah, and these two were caught up in all that shit, and they made a lot of money off of it, and ended up having to turn over almost $500,000 to the government to avoid prosecution.
Oof.
They're a couple of little con men. One of them, I forget which one, actually started the one with the bigger following over there on Twitter, the one that has the 800,000. He started his Twitter as a Justin Bieber fan Twitter.
Oh my God.
True story. And then he switched it over to be part of the resistance. They're con men. It's what they are.
Yeah, these people sound. Look, here's our Patreon. It's really important that you give us money, and it'll be free, but you still give us money for it, and maybe you'll get. But I know we haven't done anything yet. It's con men. Enough said.
Duck, I'm sorry. I try not to swallow into the mic. I apologize. Yes, I do swallow very loudly. I have an injury to my. When they did my surgery, dude, when they jammed the whatever it is they put down your throat,
carefully.
whatever it is they put down your throat while you're under, they actually scarred my throat too. So stuff gets caught in my throat all the time, and it's also made it so I will start doing my best to mute. I am so sorry, Duck Dog. But yeah, these two idiots, they really, really like to answer anything Trump says, really. The moment it's said, they are the first ones there. And this is now my favorite.
They've got to have their Twitter accounts botted.
I don't know how they do it. I really don't, because it doesn't matter the time of day. You guys know I'm up all nights, or all nights of the hour, all hours of the night. And it doesn't matter what time Trump tweets. These idiots are right there. Bam. But the tweet on the screen is now my favorite. I'm going to start tweeting this at him every time I see him.
Oh,
For those of you who don't know, that is the ambiguously gay duo, which fits way too perfectly now after that disturbing hug. Yeah. So, you said you just made a video.
I did, yes.
You want to tell us what it's about and where they can find that?
Yes, but give me like 2 minutes and I'll be right back.
Sure. Ebony says, Monkey, you need to sleep better. I can't. This isn't something, it's not like I'm just, when I was younger, my sleep pattern was all screwed up because I played video games too much. Yeah, that's all. That was the only reason. Now it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the pain of trying to get to sleep. And sometimes my body just going, nah, we're not going to do that today. It's easy to con stupid people. Yeah. Dinah, you're not wrong. The Trump derangement syndrome is what has promoted these two idiots. And I really am. I'm actually kind of excited for their podcast because I can't wait to hear it. With the, hang on, back up. This is what I really want to talk about with these two. We've discussed many times on this show criminals who do really stupid shit and record it and then upload it to the internet. And I ask, why in the fuck would you upload that? Why in the hell would you put that out there for people to find, especially you don't like law enforcement? Well, I didn't have the whole law enforcement part of that in my head, but as I watched their trailer here, their almost 2-minute sales pitch for their Krassenstein, I was just like, why would you upload that to the internet? Stop it. Reshoot it. Write yourselves a script that makes sense instead of one of you breaking into White Boy B-Box and then molesting his brother. Why would you put that out on the internet? I understand humor, but there's nothing funny about it in a intentionally funny way. So as I was watching that, I was just like, why? And then you're right. It's because those with Trump derangement syndrome, they'll just be like, yes, I can't wait. I have to watch these two idiots talk about how much he sucks. And I want to see who they have for their first guest. I think that would be fun. Because they said they're going to have guests and they're going to interject humor. Apparently between now and then, they're going to learn how to do humor. Stargazer Nut says maybe they thought it looked good. Maybe they did. That's even sadder. It was just so bad. And that's their commercial for that. We can't afford to do a commercial. You can still afford to do it yourself without looking like a complete doucheball. Furry Kitten says my ex-wife sucks balls. I don't suck balls. That feels weird. I mean, you can lick them for a little bit, but move on. The first guest will be Kiro the Wolf. It's just more proof that the left has no sense of humor. You know, I think it's weird because leftist comedians used to be the funniest. I don't care what you think. I mean, they did. They had the better jokes. And when it came to, and part of that is the subject matter. It's really hard to be pro-life and make a good joke about a dead baby. But when it came to political commentary, usually the leftist leaning comedians were the funny ones. And now they can't tell a joke to save their life. Where was that one? AOC, they'll get AOC for Comedy Gold. Yeah, she was out there talking again today. Let me find that tweet because, oh my dear God. She's an idiot.
Sorry about that. I had
and we all, oh, that's all right.
You want to hear what I just got?
Sure, please.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Hold on. Put it in there.
Yes, I do swallow very loudly. Nicely done.
Dude, I got one really bad the other day.
I like sucking dick.
Or even better, nothing says I support women like beating the shit out of them and throwing them into polls when they don't agree with you.
Yeah. When you talk as much as we do, And with the subject matter we talk about, eventually somebody's going to get you saying something horrible, even when you're not. I don't even worry about it anymore.
This might be my favorite one ever. Fuck, where is it? Here it is.
I've been putting dicks in my asshole.
Nice. Nice.
But you were asking about that video.
Yeah, you tell them about your video real quick.
Do you remember the GameStop tranny?
Oh, yeah. The
Macho Man
dude.
tranny savage.
The dude wearing the pink top, yeah.
He did an interview for some TV station, and the guy's a fucking rapper. And he's like, I wrote a song, and I'm using it to spread the message of love. Oh, dude, it's such a good interview.
Nice. And that's on your main channel, right?
Yeah, it's on the main channel.
Don't watch it now, guys. When we're done here, go watch Sinatra's video.
Yes.
And if you're not subscribed already, subscribe.
Yes. I don't know what you're doing.
We're moving on to AOC because somebody mentioned, AOC could be a great first guest for the Krassencast.
I would like to see that. Yeah, they could be dumb together.
I think those three together, they would actually cause a black hole of stupid and end humanity as we know it. They're that dumb. And today, Donald Trump was asked about AOC. Did you hear his response?
No. What did he say?
He waved his hand and said, "Who cares?"
It's a good point.
That was his reaction to her, and this was her reaction to that. I bartended for years in New York City. I understand guys like this like the back of my hand. We got under his skin. Really?
Did you? Did you?
Really? You think that's what happened there? I think Trump thought, look, I'm dealing with Pelosi and Schumer, the tops of your party. Why am I going to deal with the idiot at the very, very bottom? I mean, look, I know AOC, you're doing a good job promoting yourself. You really are. And in fairness, the press is doing a good job of promoting you, and you're doing a good job writing it. Is that a good way to put it? Because she hasn't lost the edge. Everybody's still paying attention to her, so she hasn't fucked it up too bad yet.
That's the...
So indeed. So I'm giving her credit so far. But sweetheart, nobody really cares about you. We think you're stupid, and we laugh at you because of that.
I think part of it is, though, that she does get treated like exceptionally bad by us compared to the rest of her colleagues. And so everyone's like, oh, so if they don't like her so much, we'll support her.
Well, she's a Bernie disciple. Did you ever see her and Bernie, and I forget who the other two people were, they just had was it an environmental discussion or some stupid shit like that? It was a 4-person little panel. They were sitting around this table talking to an audience. And at the end of it, Bernie gives her these glowing remarks, and she actually reaches over and hugs Bernie in this really, it's almost as awkward as the Krassenstein hug.
That's possible.
I'll have to find it and send it to you. It's just bad, man. I want to get for my soundboard. I've got to start using it more. I want to get Krassenstein beatboxing.
You know the that meme where it's like Lisa Simpson walking out on stage and it says something behind her. It'll be like, I don't know, just something. It'll say like, cereal is not soup, and it's like her giving a presentation on him.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I saw one where it's like AOC is just the Bernie Sanders you want to fuck.
It's not wrong. Because she gets a lot of her press because she is so liberal, and she is a dirty socialist bitch.
I think she wouldn't be nearly as popular if someone didn't fake that QAnon account to start this fake outrage thing. I don't think she would be nearly as popular.
I think she's grown in popularity over the summer. I mean, what she did defeating I forget his name. Fuck, what is it? The dude in New York, the Democrat she beat. That was impressive. To give her Glassley, was that who it was? I can't remember. Anyway, that was impressive. Good job. However, at that point, there was really no reason to pay attention to her anymore, other than the fact she kept saying really stupid things, like really stupid things. Data, congratulations, 28 days, no smokes. Damn, that's not impressive, dude. Congratulations.
As I smoke.
Nobody likes a quitter. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, for real.
I wish I could quit. I do. I just can't imagine. On that 28th day, man, I feel like I'd be jonesing like a motherfucker. Like, give me something.
Yeah, I know. Well, I quit for a little bit. I ended up quitting for about a year. Tried vaping. That sucked. So I went back to smoking.
I don't mind vaping. It just doesn't feel the same. And that's what kept me. I have a little vape pen and I like it. It's okay. But it's not that same feel.
Yeah. I like that throat burn.
Yeah, I really do. And it's a weird thing to say, but it's kind of the pain. And it's not really pain anymore. When you first start smoking, it's pain.
What do you smoke?
I smoke I roll my own. They're menthols that it's pipe tobacco.
Oh wow.
It's really good.
I used to smoke menthols. I recently switched to Reds.
Here, talk for just a second. I have to answer this.
Okay, go ahead. I used to smoke Newports, and then people would make fun of me for being either an elderly black lady or a young rapper. So after smoking menthols, I started coughing a lot. So I stopped smoking menthols and started smoking Reds. So I cough a lot less now, and I like the Reds better. Plus, my girl doesn't smoke Reds, so she doesn't ask me for cigarettes nearly as much. That's another big thing. It's
sorry about that, guys.
Same logic my brother has for drinking Bud Ice. No one asks him for it because no one likes it, so he gets to have all the Bud Ice to himself.
Well, my brother started smoking way back when he was like 16, and in Virginia, that was the legal age at the time. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. AOC's voice makes me want to do the Bird Box challenge. Her voice with the Krassensteins on the first Krassencast would be awesome. It would just be unlistened. You couldn't listen to it. Unlistenable, is that a word? There you go.
Unlistenable, yeah.
No, but he started smoking menthols because nobody would bum them from him. And if you had a pack of Reds, man, everybody, like, can I get a cigarette? So
same logic applies. Know your surroundings.
Menthols are almost as gay as vaping. That's not nice. But they taste better. I mean, they have that. I like mint, as long as it's not mint chocolate. Anyway, Trump yesterday.
Dude, he's been on a tweet fucking rampage.
Did you see him fucking with Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah, he said something about wounded knee.
Yeah, she did a Instagram video on New Year's or something like that.
Yeah, hello, husband. I would like a beer. She wants to be AOC so bad.
Trump tweeted out, best line in Elizabeth Warren beer catastrophe is to her husband, quote, thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here. It's their house. He's supposed to be there. That's not me saying that. That's what Trump fucking said. I'm like, damn. Trump, look, I know you're bored last night, but that one was just kind of petty, but I fucking loved it. I laughed so hard when I read that shit.
And you can tell when he gets bored too, because the tweets just start flying. He's alone in the White House.
Yes.
Like Melania's probably sleeping. He's fucking like, all right, what am I going to do? And just shit post.
Yeah. And that's when they tend to get in the morning. You usually get his more, I don't want to say policy driven, but policy driven, where he's talking more about what's going on in the world. That
his
might actually
ended tweets.
Yeah, and then at night it's just like, yeah, Elizabeth Warren's husband apparently isn't there all the time.
Hello, husband.
Hello, husband. Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad. And I watched that video, and I thought there was a problem with my connection or something, the way it was kind of robot-y. And I'm not joking here, guys. I really did. I'm like, there's something wrong. So I watched it on another thing and made sure my connect. It's just that bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I've started seeing the articles about likability problems with her and how it's just sexist, don't you know? And I'm like, I never really heard her speak or anything, so I didn't have any real context to that. After watching this, it's like the Steve Buscemi thing. Hi, kids.
Wait, I have that sound clip. Somewhere? Yeah, right here. Wait, yes. No, yes.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Yes, exactly. That's how it came across. How do you do, fellow kids? Look at me. I'm drinking, what is this called? Beer? Beer. Yes, I'm drinking beer. Like, Jesus Christ. And that's me. That's not a direct quote. That's just how it came off. It was really bad. Really bad. What do we have going on in our chat over here? I know, guys, you've been saying a whole lot of stuff, and I'm trying my best to keep up with both of these, but my co-host is sleeping. I didn't want to switch one thing for another. Oh, we're talking about smoking again. Yeah, Data. Look, dude, I'm sorry for any of the thoughts we were putting out there about how much we like it, the smokings. That is really cool, man. I don't want to say I'm proud of you because that sounds condescending. I think that's awesome. How about that? That is fucking awesome that you've been able to go almost a full month. And at a full month, you know what you should do? You should have yourself a beer.
Oh.
I don't know if you drink or not. Go to the bar where AOC used to bartend and ask them how many people have banged her in the bathroom. That should be your 31 day. You should count it to 31 days. Did you know Sinatra's live on a channel I'm subscribed to? Yeah.
What?
He's right there. Point Curation, thank you. At Sinatra, hug.
Huge.
That's not huge.
I don't know why he says huh.
I think he might have got those last two backwards. So
he's
huge.
Canadian.
Is that something you say?
Hug? No.
No, huge.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't get it.
The answer is all of them. All bang Cortez. Look, she was. I don't mean to be like that. I know there's bartenders who aren't whores.
Yeah, like
I mean, come on. Huge. Oh, is that the huge noise from the Macho Man? There you go.
Oh.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I did that in the video like 6 times. Like, she's so angry.
There we go. That was specifically from the video you guys should watch right after you're done with this over on Sinatra Says, his new video. Once again, this broadcast is brought to you by the Ranting Monkey. You can support the channel either through sharing and liking the video live streams, or financially through the $ at the bottom, or the Streamlabs link you can find below.
You know what I did yesterday that was really fucking, I guess cathartic would be the right word.
What's that?
I did a model.
What kind?
A Dragon Ball model that I don't remember ordering, but came in the mail, and I didn't know it was a model. I thought it was just a figure. And I was like, oh, okay. So I put it together and I fucking opened up the package and I opened it up. I'm like, this is a really big box for just a figure. And then I opened the box and it's just plastic sheets. Like, oh, fuck, I have to put this together. So I started putting it together. I'm like, oh, dude, this is awesome. It took me like 2 hours, but it was sweet.
I haven't done a model since, God, I know we lived in Virginia Beach the first time. So like 10. I used to always love doing it, but then it's like, what do you do with the model afterwards? It just sits there and you look at it. Give me a toy.
It's sitting on my shelf with the rest of the toys.
Yeah, see, you don't do anything with it. I want something that you can play with. Like,
you can play with these ones. They're posable and flexible, and they're pretty sturdy.
Well, see, you can buy an action figure.
I thought I did. I thought because I have most of the Dragon Ball figures in my collection, but I didn't have a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So like, all right, I should at least get that. So I just ordered one, and it came in a model, and I put the model together, and now I have it posing with the rest of the figures.
Yeah, I just buy me an action figure. That's better. We have a story here about Trump's tweet to Warren, and it comes to us from Splinter.
Doo-dah.
Trump tries to get over a horrible weekend with some vicious racism.
Nice. I mean, how do you get over your weekend?
If I have a bad weekend, yeah, I
Racism.
I try to oppress as many people as I can. Sinatra, do you still get my Discord DMs I send you about woodworking?
Yeah, every now and then he'll send me neat little videos about woodworking.
Donald Trump did not have a good weekend. Maybe that's why he's trying to calm the unsettled nerves with things he loves the most. Horrifying racism. Over the past 48 hours, over the past 48 hours, Trump was accused of being a literal Russian agent, and there were polls showing no, he was not accused of being a literal Russian agent. There was a investigation started to see if maybe he was. That is different. He wasn't brought into a court of law and accused of that, you fucking stupid bitches.
J'accuse.
Oddly enough, that's one of the lies the Krassensteins have been pushing for the last 48 hours.
They would not lie.
And there were polls showing that he and his party are roundly and accurately blamed for the shutdown crisis. Actually, there were never mind.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't the Republicans get blamed when the government shut down under Obama because they had the House?
Yes.
And now the Republicans are getting blamed because they don't have the House?
Well, Trump stepped on his dick on this one.
Yeah.
Because he said that he would take the blame. And what he should have been saying is, I will take the credit, because that's what he meant. He said he would take the blame, and that's where all of the headlines stopped. But what he actually said is, I will take the blame for shutting down the government to keep America safe. Now, if they'd put that whole thing in all of the headlines, I think you'd be seeing a different reaction right now.
Probably.
I don't think it would be much different, because you still have the entirety of the mainstream media where most people still get their news, guys, or at least the people that they tend to poll.
Mm-hmm.
The entirety of them still blaming Trump. Like, he won't compromise on the wall. He's compromised on the wall enough. It's time to get the fucking thing up. He actually, we shouldn't have to keep pointing this out to people. Donald Trump, very early on in his administration, offered to double the number of people covered by DACA if they would give him his wall. Much
to the chagrin of a lot of his supporters, by the way.
Indeed. A lot of his, I mean, I think that's actually a good compromise. I mean, these are people who are here already. You're talking about kids who were brought here, I don't want to say against their will, but they were young and they didn't have a say in it.
Without their consent.
There you go. Without their consent. They were drug across the entirety of Mexico, whether from Mexico itself or from further south of the border. But these are kids who, they didn't run across the border. They were dependents at the time. So extending DACA to get the wall, I could make that. That's a good deal. And the Democrats were like, oh, no. We don't want to protect those DACA kids we've been talking about for 2 years, and how much we need to protect them. We don't want to protect them if it means stopping other illegals from getting into the country easily. Are you kidding?
Right.
Why do you keep forgetting that to them accusations are proof of guilt? It's not that I forget, it's that I correct them when they're wrong, or try to.
Well, that makes you a horrible scumbag.
I know, right? Let's finish this article. There's so many things. You guys are great in chat today, pointing out things to talk about. But let's finish this article. So perhaps that's why Trump went to his happy place and launched yet another racist attack on Senator and 2020 presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren.
I thought you couldn't be racist to white people.
Well, yeah, I know, right? This one, however, came with a reference to one of the most infamous massacres of Native people in American history, Wounded Knee. Here's the actual tweet, guys, and it was along with the video of her having her little beer. If Elizabeth Warren, often referred to by me as Pocahontas, did this commercial from Bighorn or Wounded Knee instead of her kitchen with her husband dressed in full Indian garb, it would have been a smash. I fucking love Trump.
Did you see the guy who responds to this? The guy says he is a mental health counselor. His name is Jeffrey Gutterman. He responded at least 3 different times to that specific tweet. He said, if you were aborted as a fetus, that would be a smash. If you were never born, that would be a smash. It has happened here. # fascism in America. And then it says, I think I'm a humanistic Jew because I'm anti-T, lowercase t, capital R-U-M-P.
Oh.
So this guy is a mental health counselor, clearly off his fucking rocker.
If you guys would like to see Trump's original tweet along with Warren's video, it's right there. Her video is so bad. Anyway, between 150 and 300 Native Americans were slaughtered by U.S. forces at Wounded Knee. Here's how one article describes the aftermath. Army General Nelson Miles visited this killing fields a few days later. He expressed shock that women with babies in their arms had been shot down several miles from the initial battle site, indicating that soldiers systematically hunted down all who fled. Okay, yeah, Wounded Knee was a horrible thing. But hey, what's a little joke about massacre between friends? Well, my splinter friend who has, what's his name? Jack Merkinson. The joke there, my friend, is that she's not Native American, you ass.
She's like 220th.
She would have been on the white side there. She would have been part of Nelson Miles' legacy, not the Indians from Wounded Knee. You stupid shitbag. Oh man, these guys, they try so hard to make it bad.
These fucking guys.
Bad man Trump. Now where were some of these things I wanted to? There were a couple of things in chat that I wanted to address, and now I can't find them. I should have paused chat where it was instead of letting it just keep running.
You guys are confusing the monkey.
Yeah, it's easy to do. Wait, so she's native now? No, Sarah, she's not. She's not. It's just that this gave them a chance to say, "Oh, look how bad this bad man.
Orange.
How dare he make a joke?" Scary, don't you think? I'm sorry, but a polling station on a cold Tuesday in November is the last place many Americans need to be. November's not that bad usually. Shutdown crisis. What do these people say about the Obama shutdown? Well, that's a good question. The Obama shutdown was completely blamed on the Republicans, and this is the funny part about it, is that right now both sides in this current shutdown are unwilling to negotiate. That seems to be where we're at. Trump walked in and asked Pelosi, "Are you going to do anything on the wall?" She said no. Trump said bye. That's both of them being like, no, we're not doing anything. Under the Obama shutdown, for those of you who don't remember, that was all about Obamacare. And the Republicans had taken the House and they were not willing to fund Obamacare.
Because it was unconstitutional.
Indeed. The Republicans, I think the total different bills they sent up was 5, where they changed from we're not going to fund this at all to the final one was we just don't want to, or we're going to push off the individual mandate. They were still going to fund everything, but they were going to push off the individual mandate. And they were literally willing to negotiate all along. And every step of the way, the Senate, controlled by the Democrats, and the president were like, no, give us what we want. And Schumer was part of that. Schumer was part of those people. And it was fucking ridiculous. It was like the bad Republicans, and now it doesn't matter. Republicans will not win in the press ever because it's run by a bunch of assholes who went to college and came out, well, liberal assholes. Because that's what our colleges turn out.
I don't know how people can go to college anymore. It just doesn't seem worth it. Unless you're getting like an engineering degree. I don't know.
Well, yeah, here's the thing, and I'm going to go on another rant about this. Most people don't need to go to college. The vast majority of jobs out there do not require any college learning at all. None, zero, zip. Now, if you're going for a what has been termed as a professional career, things like a doctor, a lawyer, my daughter's a CPA. If you're going into education, these are things where, yes, college is needed. But the vast majority of jobs don't need it, and they keep sending all these kids to school. And there's a reason that was done. The whole reason that they pushed all of these kids to college is exactly what Bernie Sanders is running on. It was to pay for college for everyone. It was a way to funnel money into colleges and basically force kids into college. And
then force them through these gender studies degrees.
Mm-hmm. To indoctrinate these kids further because there's not enough time in high school to do it, because in high school they don't give a fuck. Dirty Sanchez says, went to a trade school and I make as much, if not more, doing construction than a worthless teaching position. If you want to make money right now, there are several trade schools you should be hitting up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, and you can make a lot of money. Now, the problem is a lot of it is working with your hands or being blue collar, as they say. But I would rather be blue collar and not have to worry about my bills than be white collar and with my gender study degree and working in the mailroom for what's minimum wage now? For minimum wage, let's put it that way. And there's nothing wrong with making minimum wage, but it's different when you have $150,000 in college loans you can't pay off because everybody already has your same degree. This rant makes me think of that line from Napoleon Dynamite, your mom went to college. I've never watched that movie, and I know that's
me neither.
That's not something you're supposed to say.
I've never seen it.
I never had an interest in it.
Yeah, it's just not my kind of humor.
You can't be white collar and having graduated only gender studies. Most people don't need college. They really don't. I've done a lot of jobs and not one of them actually required college, and made some good money along the way. But I mean, it depends. McDonald's here in Colorado starts at $12 an hour. Well, at $12 an hour, maybe you can pay back some of your student loans. We'll see. Diesel mechanics make some good coin. Yeah, that's the thing with the with going to like trade school instead. There are so many of these jobs that you can make a lot of money. But again, it's working with your hands. That's why you don't hear a lot of liberals out there talking about how you should do that. Shit monkey, there's tons of work out there for people holding a degree in lesbian synchronized swimming. Yeah, that's like they like seeing they have an education, a high school diploma or GED isn't good enough for them anymore. The weirdest one I ever saw of this, it was a job listing. I wasn't looking for a job. I just happened to be looking through the listings one day. And there was a fork truck operator position that required a
fork truck.
Yeah,
like a forklift.
A forklift, yeah.
Oh,
they wanted a 2-year degree to drive a fucking fork truck, and it's like that's when I knew it was getting bad, and that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, they want a 2-year degree and 4 years experience.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded. Now, I don't mind them wanting experience. I've been at the bottom where, like, how do I get experience if you won't give me a fucking job?
Exactly. Entry-level job requires experience.
Yeah. And I still get it because you want somebody you know who can do the position, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to a lot of these where you have to have a college degree, it's just retarded. Fork trucks require a 3-day course. I learned to drive in less than a day. And the only thing about a fork truck that throws people off is they feel like it's different than a car. I used to have to train people on driving a fork truck at Walmart for all of our
Big Joes and shit.
No, actually, just a small one, a regular one.
Oh, okay.
Driving like the scissor lift and things like that. We didn't train as many people, but like all of the supervisors were expected to know how to drive it just in case something needed unloaded real quick. And I had to train so many of them. People who've been driving cars for decades, and they'd get in there and they'd freeze up. I'm like, look, it's just like a car. The only difference is you're going to be backing up a lot more than you do in your car. That's it. It still drives the exact same way. You turn left, the thing turns left, and there's a different center of not center of gravity. There's a different
momentum
turning point
to it.
Yeah,
I used to have to
2-year degree.
I used to have to use those fucking Big Joes all the time at Best Buy. I hated those so much.
The only thing I really hated was
the bitch took my lighter. She came in here and took my fucking lighter. What a cunt.
Turning radius, thank you. Yeah, because they do. They turn a little bit different. I used to love driving a fork truck. The nights at the machine shop, man. The machine shop was such dirty work, man. And there were several nights where it's like, Frank, all your job is today is to move this here from here to over there. And those nights were the best because all I did was drive all night long. It's like teaching people how to drive the Humvee in the Army. I imagine.
Speaking of jobs, welding. Bear, where is yours?
Underwater welding makes insane money. Yeah, they do. Welders make good money. Underwater welders.
Don't throw it at me.
Well, you did call her a bad name.
That's why she gets called bad names, because she throws things.
We'll get on to another story here in a minute, gentlemen. I need to do. Oh, Bear, I'm so sorry. I saw your DM, and yeah, I should be able to do that, bud. I have a bad habit of reading messages and then forgetting to respond to them. Like I'll get sidetracked and like I'll answer that, but let me do this real fast. Polly, I just sent you the wrong thing. Polly, I'm sending you a link. You don't have to come, but we haven't had enough Polly in our lives lately. So, Sinatra, are you aware we have a hashtag for this show?
Yeah, I believe it is MITAM.
That is right. Thank you so much, guys, for the stories that you send over there. It's been a couple of days since we've actually looked at them because we've had so much to talk about. But I think we're going to delve in there for a little bit because we should probably clean some of those out. Let's see. Gillette's latest ad spot, pegged to Me Too, asks, "Is this the best a man can get?" What? The fuck is this? This comes from the pissed off Shih Tzu. Procter & Gamble challenges men to shave their toxic masculinity in a Gillette ad.
Fuck.
Gillette is embracing the hashtag Me Too movement in a new digital ad campaign.
How is that embracing hashtag Me Too? The fuck?
I'm not sure. Aimed at men, the latest message from advertisers attempting to change societal norms. Excuse me. The ad dubbed "We Believe." Really? We believe.
They believe they
can what?
Change the world.
I can't.
You're not supposed to. You're just supposed to go with it and not question it.
No. You know, one of the sayings of this show is "Shh, just let it happen." But when it comes to stuff like this, just believe her. Just believe that lying bitch who's. I want to know how many of these men would say, "Yeah, just believe her" if they were accused. And I know it, guys. Look, that's not going to happen to you, right? Yeah, and that's nobody's going to get herpes either. But look how that's blowing up all over the place. There was just a story the other day about another woman who she's going to jail for just a year or so because she accused a man of rape. And it turns she's a college student. She hooked up with a Tinder date. They came back to her place. They fucked like rabbits. Everything was going fine with them. And I don't know if he decided he was going to fuck somebody else or what, but then she went to the police and he raped me. And the only thing that saved his ass is that they had texted back and forth afterwards, and it showed that she was fine with it. You guys can sit there and say #believe all you like, and what's going to happen is you're going to jail. It's gonna be you eventually. So stop it. Stop just #believe. That's fucking retarded. Oh God. Opens with the ad dubbed "We Believe" opens with audio of news about the current #MeToo movement, bullying, and toxic masculinity. A narrator then goes on to dispute the notion that, quote, boys will be boys, asking, is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it. It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off, make the same old excuses. The ad puts a new spin on the brand's 30-year tagline, the best a man can get, challenging men to take positive actions, such as stopping other men and the next generation from harassing women. The ad will be hosted on Gillette's YouTube page with paid digital and social support. You know what, guys? I might make a video. I might fucking make it. Fuck.
End the stream, make a video. You won't, pussy. Go make a video right now.
I was going to do it later.
Do it now. Right now. Make a video.
I can't do it right now. I haven't even seen the ad to make sure that there's something worth
it. I
worth responding to. You know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to take a dash moment because I feel like I need one. Oh. I'm going to go objectify a woman for just a second, y'all. There she is. Oof.
That's how I feel when my lovely girlfriend who's listening to the stream right now walks into the office with food.
I feel like that every time I see Lady Monkey and
she has food.
No, anything at all.
Oh, I'm just hungry.
I want to rape my wife constantly.
Yeah, but it's not rape though.
I know, because that's implied consent. That ring is implied consent. Exactly. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Sounds like someone is switching to Bic. P-Dog, thank you. Watch Gillette ad on my stream this AM. Cringe. I bet it is. I'm gonna have to watch that. Fuck.
I don't shave. I trim. I just use the bud trimmer for everything.
I trim. Yeah, I have a.
Shaving gets razor bumps. I don't like razor bumps, so I trim my face, I trim my pubes, and I call it a day. I don't have a job I need to look good for. Well, professional.
Yeah, even when I did, I still just trimmed. I have the chubby cheeks, and I look like a child if I shave all the way. I look like a giant child.
Yeah, dude, same.
So I keep the really short beard so you can see my fucking chin line. Aren't GMP based in the UK, or at least founded in the UK? I don't know. I don't know where Procter & Gamble was founded. The Army makes my husband shave. Yeah, my dad shaved when he was in the Navy, and as soon as he got out, boy, he had a beard the rest of his life. Sean is getting angry again. What's the matter, Sean? Quit interrupting the stream for that hoe, monkey. That's not why people are watching. I think there's some people. Press 1 in chat if you find the dash breaks entertaining. Let's see, Sean. Let's see if anybody finds those entertaining. I had people last night. There's been a problem with Monkey in the Morning where people are offended I'm not streaming when they want me to.
I'm one of those people.
That's fine. And the problem is Monkey in the Morning was, see, there's plenty of ones. All I needed was one. That proves it. See, some people like it. Sorry. But this was never meant to be a set schedule. And it jumps all around. And there were people mad that we were doing it at 2 a.m. the last week. And we might go back to that. And there are people mad that I do it. Like right now, this one started just before noon on Eastern time. And like, do it when I want you to. And like, and somebody last night, like, nobody watches it at that hour. I'm like, well, actually, a lot of people watch it at that hour. And it turned out just like a couple minutes later, somebody went, I wish you would stay on the schedule you have. It's like, God damn it. I'm just trying to have fun here, guys.
That Trump tweet you were talking about just popped through my timeline.
Oh, I fucking love that.
You know that Dr. Eugene Gu or whatever his name is?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he always responds to Trump's tweets. He posted a 7-tweet thread reply to that, talking about how Trump is destroying the country. Trickle-down racism is infecting and influencing Republicans. And no matter what, how many times Trump deletes his tweets, his comments will follow Trump.
Is this because of the Warren one, the wounded knee?
Yeah, I reposted
it. Oh, calm down, dude.
Said I called him a stalker.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Because that sounds like somebody I should be following. I love following people that are morons.
Oh, dude, you'll love this guy.
They make me happy. Somebody asked, why do you follow these guys?
I'll post a tweet thread in the chat.
I'll just come over and check out your... You guys should be following Sinatra over on Twitter, too.
Yeah, there's some good shit over there.
There he is. Oh, yes, I know him. Oh, God, yeah. Why am I not following him? His Twitter bio reads, surgeon scientist trying to save the lives of infants with congenital heart and kidney disease. Cool. Subpoenaed but not silenced by Congress. Sued Trump and won. He's one of the people that Trump had blocked, and he was part of that whole unblocking, which now makes it legal for us to shit talk any elected politician we want to.
I don't understand how that works.
What?
So Trump, Trump can get sued for blocking somebody, but Twitter can kick you off the platform, and that's perfectly acceptable.
Well, with the that lawsuit, technically, I think you could sue Twitter if you said something to say Trump and you got kicked off the platform for it. Because what they decided is that public officials, when they're tweeting, that is a public forum. So you can't silence anybody there. So as long as you're not threatening them, say you tweeted out to AOC, you're a stupid cunt with a big pussy, and I think you probably smell like beans. And they kicked you off for that. You could probably sue them and get back, because the Supreme Court decided that that's a First Amendment issue. If it's you and me shit talking and I get kicked off for shit talking you, that's different. You're not an elected official. But as long as it's an elected official, guys, they can't kick you off. It becomes a First Amendment issue at that point. The Supreme Court made it that way because of people like the good doctor here. Thanks, Doc. You fucking moron. You didn't see that coming, did you? Because now literally you can, again, guys, as long as you're not threatening, you can pretty much go say anything at all you want to any elected politician in the U.S. And thank you for the donation. You retracted your message. If you want to send a different one, you don't have to send the donation again. Just let me know and I'll read that. Yeah, it's actually a good thing in a weird way, but yeah, it doesn't cover everybody is the problem.
Right.
But then it becomes a problem. And if you wanted to push it further, it's like, well, why is it okay to talk to the president that way, but I can't talk to your average citizen that way? Because the whole point of our government is that the president is not above anyone else. So if somebody really wanted to, if somebody had the money and they got kicked off of Twitter and they wanted to sue them, let me rephrase it, a U.S. citizen, there's precedent, and you could push this to where, yeah, you could actually open up free speech all over Twitter. Everybody spam the Democrat Twitters with memes. Now, I have to be careful here and say I'm not telling you guys to go harass anybody because that's against the rules. I would never say that. I'm saying that if you wanted to, they can't stop you.
Yeah. It's a law.
Yeah, we just had there was another case of this. It was on a much smaller scale. I want to say it was a mayor or a city commissioner somewhere blocked somebody, and they sued and they won because that's precedent now. Sorry, you're in the public square. You're an elected official. Oh, let's see. This one is actually James Wood's tweet that was retweeted to us by Johnny Hellcat, who says, "We live in an era where one of the most beautiful women in history is mistaken for a guy in a dress by the idiot press. How did we get here?" There was a problem where Cindy Crawford was mistaken for Caitlyn Jenner. And in fairness, I mean, let's look at the pictures side by side.
Yeah, I could see it.
There you go. Yeah, it's not a stretch. You got to realize Cindy Crawford's getting old. And she doesn't have all of her glam makeup on here. She was very cute when she was younger, but she's getting old and she has a long face and she's had some work done, and that's why she looks like him.
Yeah, she does kind of look like it.
There's an article attached. I'm not gonna bother because what's the point? Somebody confused a woman with a dude who looked like her. Wait, isn't him calling Caitlyn Jenner a man in a dress a little problematic? Maybe, but
it's James Woods. No one gives a fuck.
It's true. Data says, Ranting Monkey, what the fuck? You smell like beans? How do you still have any account, Patreon, Twitter, or anything? What? I wasn't. I was just throwing out whatever popped in my head. I wasn't actually saying the woman smells like beans. I bet Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez smells like an old prostitute, actually.
I bet she smells like cabbage.
I wouldn't be surprised by that either. How you doing, Bear?
Hello, I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm well. See, Sinatra, that is how you answer that question. I asked Sinatra how he was, and he goes, "We just talked yesterday." Like,
it's what Sinatra does. He ignores things.
I was just trying to be nice.
All right, Bear is a
mega faggot.
Ah, you have something new. See, he doesn't say hello. He doesn't ask how I am. He just goes in for that. He asked me a question earlier and ignored me answering. I don't know why we expect anything more from him, to be honest. Outside.
This is a weird.
You answered?
I did. Fuck it. I answered twice, you twat.
Oops.
Yeah. Fucking Alzheimer's having old boomer bastard.
That's true.
Oh, Grizzly says, what I said in donation was that Trump says all parents are fags. The autocorrect ruined my comment. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Look, YouTube, why don't you let me decide whether or not I want my super chats censored? I'm perfectly capable of censoring them myself. P-Dog, thank you. It's time for a class action suit for anyone banned by Twitter, public access to public figures. Yeah. With that ruling, I mean, it would take a chain of events, but you could do it. You absolutely could.
Yeah.
Holly.
So. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Where'd your icon go? You're all black now.
Oh, it's because I got my camera on. Hold on.
Oh, there you go. Wow, you are darker than I thought you were.
And
thank you, Cryptic.
See, that's why I have the little piece of tape over my camera, because mistakes like that can happen and they turn out to be not mistakes. See?
Thank you, Cryptic. Hi, Al Muhammad.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Does he still think you dye your hair?
Who, Cryptic?
Yeah.
Probably.
Because I think you dye your hair.
I know you do.
Toasted Network asks, Ranting Monkey, would you be able to use Twitter if you couldn't block anymore? I don't block anybody. There is nobody blocked on my Twitter.
I have 2 people blocked.
If I don't want to hear from somebody, I will mute them because I think it's funny.
I have Alienware blocked and Blair White.
Good choices.
Yeah.
And Blair, why Blair White?
Because she blocked me, so I blocked her back.
I've got a couple people like that on my block. I also blocked Sainsbury's. I didn't want their ads showing up in my Twitter feed.
So if Blair White ever unblocks me, she's gonna click on my page and be like, "Oh, I'm blocked now. What the fuck?"
No, honestly, the only thing I do is I mute people, because then I don't have to hear their shit, but they can still. I mean, anybody else that's reading still can.
I have quite a few people muted as well, mostly because they're autistic and say random shit.
I tried an experiment too. I started muting accounts that did the suggested or promoted tweets.
Yes, I do that all the time.
And after like 100 muted promoted tweet accounts, I started getting some really weird promoted tweets up on my feed. You know, like some of them weren't in English. They were like promoted tweets that have been up for 2 years with no likes.
Really quick, Darkshade, thank you so much. Got a nice perm today, Bear?
Yeah, sure. Shall I show how long my hair's gotten?
Yeah, if you want to. Willow says, I came in a little late. Have we touched on the Rock story? Heard about that? Are you talking about where he supposedly said that supposedly said bad things about Snowflake Generation and then turned around and said, I didn't say that? If that's what you're talking about, we've covered it in the past week, but not today.
Reason Vision says, who did Sinatra say besides Bear? Alienware, the computer company.
Oh, Monkey, I got to be that guy.
Please.
I came in late because I just recently woke up and then I had to go get my morning dark roast and OJ. You know how that is.
Indeed.
But I noticed the title of the stream. And you know I love me some Krassensteins.
Well, hang on. Let me get these super chats. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Dirty Sanchez, thank you. Couldn't Helium Boy, Shelter, and Don Lemonades be sued for blocking Mark Dice because they're public figures, right? They would have to do that's what I was talking about, because they are public figures, but they're not elected officials, which is what the Supreme Court ruling on Donald Trump's thing hinged on. So what would have to happen is it would have to be an equal clause rather than a specific public figure thing. It would have to be equal, or all people are equal, including the president. So either the president can block people or these guys can't, kind of thing. So yeah, they could, but it would be a roundabout way. And thank you, Cryptic. Bear's hair is going white. It's because his whiteness is trying to escape.
And no, Viper, I'm not going to shave my head. It's winter. Too cold for that shit right now.
Okay, so Polly, the Krassensteins. The Krassensteins have decided they are going to start the Krassencast.
Did you watch the John Ward video I sent you?
I did indeed.
Finally, I wanted you to watch John Ward for so long, and I'm like, if there's anything that's going to make Monkey watch a Ward video, it's going to be this.
Thank you, Grizzly. Trump needs to shave his head. Oh no, I don't want to see bald Trump. He'll look like Lex Luthor.
He should grow a beard and get like the douchebag guy haircut.
Oh, he could do that. No, I actually sat there and watched a whole bunch of John Ward videos after I watched that one.
What do you think?
I enjoy he's probably second only to Razor Fist and people that I now like for their rants.
It's funny you say that. That was one of the first tweets I sent out about John Ward. I said he's second only to Razor Fist in the excellence of elocution. Man, yes. The guy, his shtick is, his speed is just.
It is amazing. I don't know how he didn't run out of breath on some of those.
He's so good at what he does.
Razor Fist. I'm gonna have to check this Razor Fist.
I love Razor Fist. The guy.
You don't know Razor Fist, awesome.
Oh man, I know who he is. I think I've talked to him a few times, but I've never watched a video.
Dude, you got
Razor Fist. God, fucking speed. I fucking love his videos. They're awesome.
His rants are fucking epic, dude. They are. He's been described
John
as like
Ward. I'll check that out.
Yeah. John, you would love some John Ward Sinatra if anybody. Like, wow, yeah, the way he focuses in on Don Lemon of all people. I love that. That's his favorite target.
I didn't watch any of his Don Lemon ones. I did watch his Jim Acosta once, all three of them.
Jim Acosta ruined Jim Acosta's career. Yeah,
I'm watching part 3 of that right now.
See what I mean? Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Hey, Sinatra, will you throw the link to that in the chat?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, guys, this Razor Fist is like Dennis Miller on crack. I fucking love. He's as close to Dennis Miller.
Hero, right?
So someone just said he's Paul
that.
Giamatti and Styx X and Hammer.
No, Styx. Look, I know a lot of people like Styx. I just don't find Styx funny. Styx is
he's interesting. He's got a lot of insights, but he's not going for a comedy thing, and that's fine.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. You know, where Razor Fist rant is like, damn.
And Styx is like, I need information on this subject. I will watch his video.
Exactly. Where Razor Fist is, like I say, he's like Dennis Miller. He tears it apart with these wonderful rants that he pulls fucking with pop culture references that are just like, you're right, but where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
But then what's this guy, John Ward?
Yeah.
I watched, probably 8 of his videos before I started today. And
nice.
Yeah, they're wonderful rants. they're fucking awesome.
And the Krassenstein thing, when he first says, "Hi, I'm Brian Krassenstein," estrogen.
Yes. Yeah, guys, check out John Ward on YouTube. He's got like 170,000 subscribers, I think it was.
121.
121. Okay.
I'm gonna beat that sub count.
You're not far. But yeah, he's funny as fuck. Really, really good. And it's not that I've been ignoring you in the past, Polly.
No, you said every time there's just so much to watch, and I hear you.
And it's not even just that. It's like, okay, I will watch that later, and then later comes, and I don't even remember saying I'll watch that later until you bring it back up. It's like, oh yeah, shit.
Yes, Shelley, Razor Fist channel is called Rageaholic.
Yes,
correct.
Rageaholic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump out of here because it's about nap time, so I'm gonna check out a couple of these videos and jump.
Enjoy.
The most important time of the day.
Thanks for hanging out, Sinatra.
I'll see you guys. Thanks.
See you guys, Boo.
Laters.
Yeah, guys, I will be over on Ghost Poo tonight at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. The only time that matters, America.
Oh my god.
What?
It's actually 5:30 Eastern. You said 4:30.
I said 5:30.
You said 4:30.
I did not.
You did.
Chat, did I say 4:30?
Pull the tape.
Pull the tape. I swear I said 5:30.
I fucking love Razor Fist. Like, to be able to do that is completely beyond me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
I have too many things like psychologically incorrect in my brain to be able to do shit like that without a script. And even then, I trip over myself about fucking 7 times.
I mean, he goes by scripts. He goes half by memorization. If you want to see how really, really good he is on the fly, he does the Razor Fist Arcade every Friday. I don't know if you guys ever watched it, where he's just playing a game and then he's got his video partner who reads the chat to him while he's playing the game, and then they'll switch back and forth. And the questions are all about whatever. Politics, so-and-so. What do you think about what Elizabeth Warren did? And while he's playing the game. And yeah, he's good on the fly, not just on the script. He's just damn good at what he does.
For the record, Bear, they all heard 5.
Nah, they're all suck-ups. Also, fuck you, RJ.
Yeah, you can tell that Razor Fist in his prepared videos, he does use a script.
Yeah.
Again, it's very much like Dennis Miller. You can't push all of that out on the fly, not the way he does it in his videos. And that's not a slam against him. It's just he gets so many references in a row, and you can tell, but he does it in a very, very good way. And you're right, with watching his live stuff, he's still very quick and very fast. It's just not as in depth as he goes in his rants, because his rants, he will lay out like 5 references in a row as he's just bitch slapping somebody in one goddamn sentence.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, that one was written.
What was the?
Do you watch Yahtzee?
Yahtzee.
No.
As it from the Escapist channel.
No.
He does 0 punctuation reviews on games.
No.
They're obviously scripted, but they're awesome as well.
That's a clever super chat, actually.
Darkshade Razor Fist, the edgy alternative universe. Spoony, thank you for the donation. No. Razor Fist is
oh, he's so many.
He's in a league of his own on
Spoony. It's just
yeah.
And the thing that can't, I know we're all just like doing a circle jerk on Razor Fist, but if you watch his musical Mythos series, he's got a lot of different content styles. It's not just like comedy rants. He also does like album reviews, and he's really into the 1980s in a big way, especially metal music and stuff. So it's like, here's a album retrospective on Black Sabbath, on the Ramones, and that's not my kind of music, but I've watched every one because he makes them interesting and tells the history of the album and why they did it like they did it and so on. He did the one on Michael Jackson that he did, incredible. He's a big Michael Jackson fan.
The only thing I generally watch on his channel is the political stuff because that's the stuff I care about. Maybe I'll watch one of his music ones. We'll see.
He's also got his movie reviews that are funny as fuck.
Razor Fist.
Yeah.
I watch all of his shit. I don't give a fuck what it's about. Even if I have no idea what it's about, I still click on it.
It's to me, it's a good example of like, I don't have to be of the same style as a critic because like, I'm not into the 1980s aesthetic that he is, like the black leather, the long hair, the aviator sunglasses, the metal music, whatever. He's interesting and funny. That's all that counts, right? You know?
Sure, absolutely.
A British YouTuber has joined the Labour Party.
Sargon?
I demand Sargon joined UKIP.
He could have switched. I don't know. I don't pay attention to this shit.
Well, he likes to be a troll, I guess. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh, well, I couldn't see them letting him in.
Did you guys see the argument he got into with Ranting Feminist today?
I did not know.
Who, Sargon?
Yeah.
Because Ranting Feminist talks utter bollocks most of the time. So
I'm with her on this one. Did you see the video of the McDonald's drive-through where the McDonald's employee is yelling the N-word at a customer?
No, I did not.
See if I can find it here. If anybody knows where it is, I would appreciate a link. I didn't respond to any of it, so I don't know how fast I can find it. So there's this customer in the drive-through. You can't see what happened beforehand, but he's filming from in his car and he's yelling, "You just called me the N-word. You just called me the N-word." And the guy inside is like, "I don't care. You need to leave. I don't care. You need to leave." And then the guy drops the N-bomb again. And then several more times. And Ian Miles Chong tweeted out something to the effect of, "I don't care what you say." He was acting like one. And Ranting Feminist is like, "That's racist." I mean, his rant, what the guy was saying was racist, and Ian agreeing with it, that's racist. And so Sargon got, you're like, "Oh, intersectional feminists, they're it can't be racist because can't be racist against white people." I'm like, that makes no sense. But anyway, yeah, they had an argument about that, and sometimes I feel like Sargon just argues to argue.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure he does.
And instead of arguing,
and he kind of gotcha.
It's weird. Where's that video? I don't know where that fucking video is. But yeah, if you see it, you'll be like, "Ooh, that ain't right."
You know, I have to confess something here.
What up? And
it's not to be a contrarian, but
you don't wear a smoking jacket. I fucking knew it.
Not all the time, but you're damn right I do. It's over there. I'm seeing it right now. It's in a dry cleaning bag.
There you go.
I like to keep it.
There's the video if you guys want to watch it real fast.
Okay, let's go watch this.
I just got to say this, and I hope nobody takes offense, but I don't understand why y'all give Ranting Feminists the time of day. You just really shouldn't. I don't get it. I find her boring and repetitive and moralizing, and she's got a chip on her shoulder, and she's looking for a problem. She usually finds problems outside of the place where she lives.
You're not wrong.
Cast stones of dispersion left, right, and center. I hear all the time say, "Yeah, but she's one of the reasonable feminists," and I can understand why someone would want to engage someone like that. But of what I have seen of her, it's like I don't get why the people that give her the time of day do. That's me.
Me and her got into an argument, and she got really mad at me because I made a response video to her. and would not talk to me at all. She
Did
was
you?
worse than my. Oh yeah, I've made like a couple.
I don't remember.
She'd went on a stream with Bearing, and she made the comment. I don't remember the exact comment, but basically that feminists don't argue in public because they're keeping a united front. And I made a video about that. Like, look, if you think somebody's wrong, you should say they're wrong, not just keep your mouth closed because you don't want, people.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Diminishing your side, because it was all about that girl. There was a girl who made a video. This is video inception, you guys. So let's start at the beginning. White-haired little feminist, pure white hair when she was like 16 or probably 18. She makes this video where she actually was basically reading a BuzzFeed article about why we need feminism. And she quotes that there is a woman raped in the United States every 6 seconds. And I know this came from the BuzzFeed article because the BuzzFeed article to this day has that same error in it.
Right.
It's actually what the statistics actually go every 6 minutes or something like that. And a whole bunch of people jumped on Bearing from the feminist side because how dare he go after this chick with this small little channel? Like that's not what's important. What's important is she said something really fucking stupid.
Is that the chick I started the Feminist 100 challenge on?
Oh no. Wasn't that the blonde girl?
Yeah, because she said some stupid fucking shit like that.
She said some really stupid shit, but no, this was the one that several feminists in the Christy Winters group went to this video and had commented nicely about it. And Bearing had been arguing with Michael Rowlands, and Michael Rowlands actually put this up there almost like a challenge to Bearing. Specifically, make a video about her. And so he did because she was wrong. And
his fault.
Ranting Feminists went on a live stream with Bearing over this, and the whole question came up. Look, if you care about feminism, why didn't you correct her? Instead of going over to her video and talking about how great it was, why didn't you say, hey, I appreciate that you're, supporting feminism. I agree with what you're doing, but you got this part wrong, glaringly wrong. And the answer was basically because we don't argue in public. And she got very mad at me because I said that they were presenting a united front, and she never used that language. And she refused to even speak to me for like a year. But then some other drama burst that neither one of us were actually a part of, but we ended up talking over it, and we became very good friends in offline world where we don't talk about politics and shit. We've talked some politics back there, and I've had to explain to her some of the differences between what she sees in Australia, where she's at, and over here in the US, because she hears it from other feminists here and not necessarily going and looking at what's actually going on. But when it comes to what she says on Twitter, yeah, you're absolutely right that a lot of times she's nitpicky over stuff that it's like, why are you getting mad about this?
Remember when she sent out the tweet, because it became a thing because Hammer, the one-ton Hammer was talking about, he brought my attention to it because I don't follow her. What does everybody think? She's polling for opinions on Twitter about,
oh God, yes.
Should I explain to black people?
It made me so angry, Polly.
What?
I know where you're going with it. Just explain
it. Okay, I was like, did you see something funny? It was, should I explain to black people who say there's no racism in the United States, the history of racism in the United States, or is it A, this, B, not my place to say so, C, yes, you should explain this, blah blah blah. It's like, what about the history of Jim Crow and so on? And it's like, why don't you explain the detail of the Aboriginal oppression in your own country? Like, this is what I mean, like the glass house that this woman is, and the fatal flaw that is intersectional feminism, where it's like somebody can always point out how you're an oppressor to somebody else and get into this whole thing, and nobody calls her on it. She gets into this, she's like, well, it's not really, it's like, you seem to know a lot. about the evil racist history of a place that you're not from. You know a lot about the details of it. You know all the feminist talking points, in other words.
It made me so angry, Polly.
Let me get this super chat real quick over on Streamlabs. Thank you, some Dutch dude. I just want to say hello. So hello, Monkey, Bear, and Polly. Thanks for these streams. Another tiny step closer to that RAM, Monkey. Also, hi chat, and don't forget to like the stream. Yeah, I'm trying to raise money to get I need RAM for my computer. Anyhow, what's that?
Who was that?
That was some Dutch dude.
Hello, some Dutch dude.
There you go.
You have followers all the way from the Netherlands. That's awesome.
I have followers all over the world.
He has some in North Korea.
I don't know why, but yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's great.
Well, when I say I don't know why,
if you go look at your fucking thing, your demographics, sometimes you get like one single viewer from some mad, like backwards despotic country. It's like, what?
Yeah, when I said
I'm watching my shit right now.
I don't know why. It's not disparaging or anything. I don't know how they find me, which I'm happy they found me. I love them all. But it's like, how the hell did you find me?
I don't believe the whatever you want to call it, demographic breakdowns that are given up in YouTube analytics, because I've looked at them, and 100% of the viewers of Comic Book Curation are male, and 100% of them are from the United States. And I happen to know neither of those things are true. So what the fuck?
Well, it could also be like the male female thing. That's entirely dependent on what you
select
what you list your sex as.
So what you're saying is all the women that watch Comic Book Curation are masquerading as men, at least on YouTube?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's possible.
I have quite the female demographic on Irate Alex, you know.
Nice.
I haven't looked at my demographic in a while.
Let's have a quick look. I know it was over 50%.
Let's see. My demographic. Yeah, I'm view gender 15% female. You know, I probably would have a higher female count if I'd stop asking them all how old they are or how tall they are in a creepy voice.
Mine's 52% female on Irate Alex. It's because I keep going after fat women, and women love it when you go after fat women.
Age, most of my viewers are 25 to 34 years old.
Youngins.
You know what I figured might be going on? It's maybe it's because, like you said, it's just like what people have selected. Maybe a whole bunch of people, because I know I have a number of viewers in Australia because they say so, and I know who they are. The other ones, it all still shows up as the U.S. Maybe they've just clicked on their location as, you know, it's all self-selection stuff that's causing it. But if you'd like to watch my show, you can come over to my channel, link in the description or in the chat right now, and listen to Comic Book Curation and the fun that we have in and around things following social media and comic book movies with Inquisitor 8.1 and Jack from Bad Comic Reviews, who's often featured here on Monkey in the Morning.
Indeed. Thank you, Failure B, for that compliment. She said you should have more than that. I would have more if I need to start making videos again. I really do. And Toasted Network says, can you make Monkey in the Morning a radio show? I have thought about making this a podcast. I know. I've thought about
Monkey.
Maybe we'll see.
I appreciate your concerns about it. I actually do. It makes sense, but I still think you should go forward. You know,
my biggest concern is just remembering to do it, because I don't think you can just set it up automatically. Can you? So like when I come live here, it automatically sets it up as the podcast and sends it on.
I don't know, but that does sound like the kind of thing that would probably be quickly answerable on Google. And I'm not trying to say it's simple. I'm just like, that's where my first step would be.
Well, I talked to the biggest Mikey and asked him how he did his. I actually did this like 3 months ago. So it's something I should just get off my ass and do, because it is really what it's meant to be.
And like I said, on the trip that I was just on, that's what made me think about, why isn't Monkey doing this as a podcast as well? Same show, just as a podcast, right? Doubling it. Because I ran into all kinds of people that knew nothing of this world. There's like, oh, really? There's like talk shows, so to speak, on YouTube, like, you know, of the Monkey in the Morning variety. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, of course there is. They're like, oh, I thought it was all like cat videos and people angry at Trump.
Well, that's
I'm like,
why...
well, that's about 50% of it, but the other 50%, there's things going on like this, but they all listen to talk radio, they all listen to podcasts, and I'm like, see, there's Monkey could have a whole audience he doesn't even know about.
Data says, Monkey, I've seen you listed under animal cartoons on the recommended page. I've seen that too.
I've also seen you listed under animal cartoons on YouTube as well.
Yep. And I think that's where I belong.
Next to Peppa Pig, I shit you not.
It's probably because I say Peppa Pig so often when you're around.
It's in the algorithm. It's in the data.
I should start, because we talk about Peppa Pig. Anytime we do it, I should put it in the description or the
you're allowed.
Yeah, but I can't do that. We actually Little Butt's no longer allowed to cruise YouTube because of that shit.
Makes sense to me, mate.
The girl loves YouTube. She loves watching. She loves Ryan's toy review for some goddamn reason.
Just like Alfie does, mate.
But we were sitting there, and she had my phone, and I'm sitting next to her, and I look over to see what she's looking at, and she's watching a video called "Will It Flush?" I'm like, no.
Right?
I remember hearing about that channel. The entire channel was dedicated to flushing things down the toilet that isn't shit.
Yes. And you don't want a 3-year-old playing the Will It Flush game.
with daddy's phone, with mummy's underwear.
Everything. Yeah.
with grandpa's old plumbing.
Yeah. I mean, you do not want a child watching that. So when it comes to that, there's a lot of things we've talked about where I could put it in there, but yeah, and it would probably boost me up because Elsa and Spider-Man for some reason are the biggest things on YouTube. But yeah, I can't do that. It's dickish.
Is that shit still going?
Not like
right,
it
that
was.
shit was called out.
They had stamped down most of it, but you can still find some of it out there.
Yeah, of course you can. It's mostly like just like kids slime channels and shit now, isn't it? Surely
for that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems many viewers on this channel are in their 40s. There are a lot of them. We do have an older audience. According to the demographics. 25 to 34 is the most watched. 35 to 44 is the second most watched, and then next in line is 45 to 54 was third most. Sorry, 35 to 44, and 23 to 34 is the biggest. Anyway, you know what's weird? I have like no 13 to 17-year-old boys watching. I have a few girls. And then when you get up to the 55 to 64, I don't have hardly any women, but there's a couple of men.
Mm-hmm.
So young girls like the show and old men like the show.
So you got some, daddy issues and some basically boomers who love to hear you moan about millennials, even though you're wrong most of the time.
I'm not wrong. Just millennials suck. I mean,
an entire generation of people.
It's an entire generation of suck.
So
let's not get into this again.
Subjects change rapidly, but
sure. What's up?
I feel the need to bring it back to what we were talking about before. The Krassensteins.
The Krassenstein.
Because it's not only that John Ward ripped in on them deliciously, it's just those two invite it. Those two creepy. Do you not get the impression from looking at that video? It's like, okay, clearly you guys work out and lift the same amount of reps because not only do you look identical, your musculature is identical. They're clones, Monkey. They're clones.
Well, aren't they twins?
Oh, they're absolutely twins. But the fact that they work out to the exact same degree and keep both their beards trimmed in the exact same way and just the whole 9 yards, man, it's fucking freaky.
Michael, thank you so much. I'm Monkey's 17-year-old male viewer.
He also has daddy issues.
Real quick, and over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Some Dutch Dude again. Yes, he does, Polly. I'm not a comics guy, so do not watch your streams, but you are awesome on here too. I'm a little scared of how often I agree with you, though. Now tell Bear to look at his Streamlabs. Bear, go look at your Streamlabs.
Okay.
Polly, have you set up a Streamlabs?
Polly.
Oh, sorry. I was reading Cynical Lindsay's text there in chat. Have I set up a Streamlabs? No, I have not. But
why not, Polly?
I know. I hear you.
You can receive donations directly from your audience, Polly.
Well, see, this is the thing. There's that critical point where it's nice to receive donations, and who wouldn't want that? And they'd be spent on comic books to further the whole point of the series. But there's something sad when you set up a Streamlabs and then like nothing happens because no one gives you money. Like, you know what I mean? There's that fear, right? It's like, no, they're gonna give me money. You know?
Can I read this donation?
Please.
Some Dutch dude says, he throws $2 at me. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, dude. Hi, Bear. Just throwing a couple of shekels your way too. Thanks for the entertaining streams. Can you yell at Polly for me? Because I could not find a Streamlabs for him. Well, he doesn't have one. Do you, Polly? For fuck's sake, one job, Polly. It's not difficult. Polly.
I
wasn't finished reading. Also, tell Monkey to check his Streamlabs. Check his Streamlabs, Monkey. Unless he was referring to the previous donation. But yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Toasted Network, if you want my Streamlabs, it's basically streamlabs.com/iRateBet. But thank you.
Okay.
Oh, Zombie Teddy says, I haven't heard anything about Stacey Dash for 10 minutes. Oh, let's go check in. Oh.
Yeah.
She okay?
Let's talk about Stacey Dash.
Ollie, if you're about to ruin Stacey Dash.
What do you mean? Not.
And I'm gonna have to kill you.
I was the one who brought up Stacey Dash originally on Monkey in the Morning.
He's the reason I can't stop looking at Stacey Dash.
It's one of the most beautiful women to ever put 2 feet on the earth. It's just, she's a stunning woman.
Yeah,
she is on the kidnap
most
list.
Gorgeous woman on the planet.
Lady Monkey's my mother. She's my internet mother. But I don't see you as my internet dad. I see Bloodwing as my internet dad.
I'm not your typical dad.
You're too young to be my dad, unless you had. Wait, how old are you again? 43.
Yeah, 43.
Well, yeah, you would have had to have kids at 13, so you're too young to be my dad.
Real
Bloodwing,
quick,
however,
opinionated Scottman said Stacey Dash is a 5 at best. Yeah, if the scale is 5.
Yeah, I mean, if the scale is 1 to 10 and Stacey Dash is a 5, 10 is like, I don't know. It would be like looking at Cthulhu. The beauty would drive you so mad that you would just like lose all sense of reality and collapse in on yourself if Stacey Dash is only a 5 and a 10 actually existed. You know what I mean?
And real quick, SJ Jar Jar Binks says, my God, Monkey, you're still awake. I actually slept last night. We finished the stream.
Did as well.
So did I.
Went to bed. Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm well rested.
I actually slept last night. Which is really good for me.
Well, I suffer from insomnia, so that dozing, not quite wakeful state was my sleep last night, but it was good nonetheless.
I have Downs-tism. So the night before, I only managed to sleep for 2 hours before I woke up again.
I woke several times through the night. Had to try to get myself in a good position to get back to sleep. But yeah, I slept. I've done that the last 2 nights, actually. Slept normal hours. Monkey, if you love Stacey Dash, then check out Misty Stone.
Misty Stone, she's a porn star.
Does she look like Stacey?
Vaguely.
Let's see. What's with that hair?
Okay, she has the large natural hair. Yeah.
The first thing that comes up on my Google search is Misty Stone anal porn free ebony lesbian movies at Pornhub.
Nope. See, I wasn't kidding. She's a porn star. She's a petite, light-skinned girl, and she wears her hair natural, which is awesome. Black women, natural hair is awesome. Don't do the wig thing. It's not worth it. Just my opinion from an outsider. Just saying.
It depends on which picture I'm seeing, whether I like her hair or not. There's somewhere it's like, yeah,
probably shouldn't tell black women what to do, Polly.
No, I shouldn't. That's really right. I'm saying, okay. Your natural hair is beautiful. That's all I'm saying. And if you can't grow your hair long, that's fine. Take a look at Toni Braxton. She does short hair like nobody else. It's sexy as fuck. Think about it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to tell the Krassensteins on you for being racist. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about them, and yeah, they're creepy. That video was creepy as fuck. I can't wait to listen to the Krassencast because they did that off the cuff, and it did not come off well.
Oh, it's well, Zombie says weave. It's not a wig. Okay, you're right. It can often be a weave, but sometimes it's just a straight up wig, like for real. Anyway, it did not come off well. Those guys are just, they don't know what to do in front of a camera. They don't know what to do on the mic. Like, it's so clear. Do you see the one on John Ward starts calling them R and L because they split up their voices between the left and right chest?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
They're inept. They don't know what they're doing. Like, it was just they plug in 2 mics and yeah, I'll be on the right, I'll be on the left. Can you imagine listening to that with headphones? How annoying that would be. They probably thought it was clever, or we're just technically inept and fucked it up.
I don't think they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, same here.
And as you watch it, I mean, they say, look, we can't afford a professional commercial. That's fine. But you could sit down and write a script.
Yeah. Oh, we can't afford. Cynical Lindsay says Pam Grier, a young Pam Grier. Oh, my God.
I have a donation.
Oh.
Thank you, Toasted Network, for the $1. Appreciate it. Heard about Logan Paul being gay for a month. Outrage. Yes. I'm running for president. My platform, get rid of taxes and get rid of taxes. So, sorry, Texas, California, and New York. That way we raise money is by, instead of deporting immigrants, we make them make sex tapes. Vote Toasted. Thank
I've been
you.
running for president since I turned 35, and my platform is I will leave you the fuck alone. That is my only platform. So if you'd like to vote for me, you can write me in.
Just a couple people went by. Reason Vision said, are we actually talking about the same Stacey Dash as I find, or am I too young? Yeah, Stacey Dash is milfing it hardcore in a great, awesome way. Like, if you want to see her at her like beautiful prime, that would be back at Clueless, like from the 90s, early 90s. Is that when Clueless is from? Yeah. But now she is a gorgeous 52 years old. Like, no woman has any right to be 52 years old and walk around looking like that. Clearly, she's like sacrificing infants to stay young. I mean, my God.
She clearly has a deal with George Soros.
It's right. It's amazing how she, like, you know, her boyfriend is like 20 years younger than her, and it's like, I'll be your boyfriend. That's cool. Like, I bet she
wears his ass out.
Oh, she's rocking it she's not old. She's mature. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's not a girl. That's a woman.
When you're describing women that like cheese.
I feel like we're corrupting Stacey by smashing her in with talk about the Krassensteins.
Right. But I just want to reason. Yeah, we are. That's who we are talking about. Stargazer asked, do I have a Streamlabs? No, because Bear just yelled at me for not having one, but I got to get around to having one. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it and not dox myself. Black Romeo.
You have to set it up as a business account, as I've told plenty of people before.
I asked Monkey about that, and he told me about that, and that's
it's because Monkey is old as shit and doesn't know how anything works.
No, it kept asking for things, and I'm like, I don't think I should be here.
Polly, you can do it.
Okay.
Are you boomering me? I built my computer, motherfucker.
I would be happy to hear all about how to do that, but that's like some behind the scenes.
I got to sit there and listen to him try to do it, and it was hilarious.
Black Romeo asks, have you seen the story about the butt double for Brie Larson? Oh yeah, I have, and that'll be coming up on the next comic book curation.
They had a butt double for her.
Well, hold up, monkey. You can find the link to my channel where you can find the next comic book curation coming up this Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern-ish. Yeah, they had a butt double for Brie Larson, because when you see there's a set photographer usually just taking pictures of production when it's going on whilst a movie's being filmed, and you can see Brie Larson in the outfit she got white girl butt, and that's fine. A slender gymnast look can be sexy as hell too, but they clearly got a butt double because Brie Larson is flat as the Arizona desert. It's
there ain't nothing wrong with white girl ass. It's just black girl ass is nicer. Sorry, white girls.
Well, it depends on what black girl you're talking about. Sometimes it's not. Also, there's a lot of
there's the reason there's a white girl. I sink my teeth into that shit. I like it because it comes with the big ass thighs as well. Where's my woman? She has that shit.
I'm just saying, there's an entire area of porn dedicated to just fat ass white girls, to big ass white girls. So
I know.
That's how you know. Oh, I know.
They got butt doubles. That shit's just painted.
Yeah. So they brought in a butt double, which is hilarious as fuck. And then Cynical Lindsay also, sorry, last thing here, I was just jumping through a whole bunch, had asked, Jack said that there would be a comic book curation this weekend, and then it didn't end up happening. Yet we had a little bit of difficulty coordinating. Quiz was busy on one night, and Jack was busy on another, and I have been out of town, so I was kind of making those guys' lives hard. So yeah, I think we're just going to go with Wednesday back to the regular schedule, which means it's been 3 weeks since we've done a comic book curation live, and I'm missing it. We have a lot to talk about, so yeah, it should be fun.
Nut says, "Don't judge my ass. You haven't seen it. You have a Twitter? Put it up there so we can all see your ass."
From several angles, it will help.
Yeah, look at it. Faithless is like Pogs. They're called Pogs. Yeah, fat ass white girl, PAWG. That's his entire area of porn dedicated to it.
Preferably
Various
French underwear.
Various different states of undress, so we can actually tell.
I
Like Stacey Dash.
I like the French panties. I like the way they sit on ladies' booties.
As for the Logan Paul thing, we've talked about that several times, both on this stream and on Lords of the Night. I don't know if you guys did on Ghost Poo. I don't give a fuck if he wants to suck dicks for a month.
Monkey, you've been on like every Ghost Poo for the last month. You should know.
Okay. Did you guys cover that? I'm sure you did, but
I was late Friday.
I'm curious about your opinion. I was talking about this with some people on Discord last night. What does that mean? Like
what?
That Poo? No, that Logan Paul is going to go gay for a month. What does that mean? Like, does it mean he's going to dress flamboyantly and go to gay clubs, or does that mean he's going to take up the ass for a month? I don't understand.
He's going to become an interior designer for a month.
he's gonna suck dick for a month.
Gobble gobble.
Nom 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 nom.
That'll prove he's like, I don't know what, woke. I'm trying to understand.
He was making a joke, and I don't know how serious he is, especially now that he's gotten so much attention for it. But yeah, people just freak the fuck out. How dare you, sir?
It's not a choice.
Who cares? Who cares? Seriously. If he wants to suck a dick, I do not care. It does not hurt gay people at all if Logan Paul spends the next 30 days doing nothing but getting banged. Nothing. Doesn't hurt
the
anything.
LGBT community because it makes it seem like a choice. What is blah 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 blah?
You know what? Maybe yours isn't a choice, but that doesn't mean other people can't make the choice. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna try a dick. That doesn't.
I remember a time when the whole idea of LGBTism is stay out of other people's business, take the libertarian view, get out of other people's bedroom of what consenting adults choose to do amongst each other. And it's like, yeah, fine. So how did social justice become so interested in other people's bedrooms and force their way in there and start judging? You have to be attracted to that tranny because otherwise you have to.
It's a form of identity outside of the norm, hence the oppression points.
It's to force it into normalization. It is the same reason they had to have gay marriage instead of civil unions. You have to. They're trying to make it as normal as it can be. And look, I don't care about gay marriage versus civil unions, but the word marriage had a defined definition. But the reason you had to fight for gay marriage rather than the civil union was to make it normal, to normalize.
It's funny because once they've normalized it, there's nothing left to normalize.
Except that became the next thing. And for the most part, 99% of gay people don't care about this shit. They're out there living their lives. But when you have the that 1% that gets all the attention, they're the ones out there. Oh, everybody should try a dick. No. But on that same thing, it's like, well, he's going to try a dick. He shouldn't do that. Like, make up your fucking mind. Is it okay to suck a dick or not?
I thought it was hilarious when the trans community decided to turn on the lesbians. You know, like, come on, it's a penis, but it's a feminine penis.
It's a feminine penis. Yeah, because those are real.
I got the very real opinion, and I picked up off of this because Platty, Fat Platypus amongst the minions, and then of course Chaos Eve. Eve's been on your show a number of times, Monkey. They're both transitioning, male to female, and the thing they hate more than anything is being used as someone's shield and being, fighting for political points. It's just like, I just want to live as a woman. I don't want to be your shield. I'm not looking to fight a fight. What I want is for people to not care, to adopt indifference. And it's like, is that not the ultimate goal? Because Bear, hey, you're a heterosexual. It's like, yay, great for you. Do you have something to say other than that? And it's like, no. Well, then this isn't a subject of conversation. Saying I'm gay, it's like, I don't care. We've reached the goal of indifference. live your life. That's fine. You know what I mean?
That's where we should be. Bear Kingslayer says to check your
shimmering splendor.
Bear.
Tell me, monkey, when was the last time you let your heart decide?
Bear.
Hi.
Did you see that Kingslayer wants you to check your Streamlabs?
Oh,
is that your own song, Bear? That's pretty good.
What?
What's I don't know what song is that? I thought that was your own like little thing.
No, that's you don't know what that is?
No.
That's
from Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Oh, I've never seen Aladdin.
A Whole New World.
Oh, is that okay? I've heard reference to that song, but no, I've never seen Aladdin, so I didn't recognize it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty melodic, man.
But no, as you're saying, that should be the goal. The goal should be nobody cares.
Yeah, I think so.
Cares.
But I think Bear brought up an interesting point. He said because it's an identity outside the bedroom. Yeah, to me that's a little pathological, where your identity is to be trans, i.e. Riley Dennis comes to mind. Like, what does this person have in their life other than that? I'm trans, I'm trans, I'm trans.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, shouldn't it be I'm a woman, period? You know?
Yeah, that's the whole point of transitioning, is it not? Is to eventually be referred to and looked at by society as male or female, whatever one you're transitioning to.
It used to be, and now it's look how trans I am. But read your chat.
Look how blue-haired I am. But Kingslayer Democles for the $1. Appreciate it. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Because I'm fairly sure it is Kingslayer Democles.
It's Damocles.
Damocles.
Yeah.
I played Pathfinder Wednesday, Polly. Change the day. Please yell at Polly. Polly! Fuck's sake!
You know, one thing that I'm happy to hear, because the original idea is starting the comic book creation in general, the recorded videos and then the live streams, was Jack, Quiz, and I would sit around and have our little nerd conversations. And then it was like, why don't we just take it live and see how it works? And the hope is always that conversation transitions over to the audience, that they hear it, because we had fun doing it. Hopefully they'll have fun listening to it. I get the comment a lot in my DMs and sometimes under the videos. I don't read comics, but I enjoy you guys' banter back and forth. I didn't realize you talked about movies and everything that's in and around comic books, the widespread thing. And so we're starting to pull in this audience that I was hoping was going to happen, that is people who don't even read comics that are interested in listening to it. And it's like, fuck yeah. So even if you don't listen to comics, come by, check it out. You might enjoy it, because we have our little fun and it's a good time.
As you should.
I mean, hell, how many gaming? Yeah. I don't game at all. How many gaming streams do I listen to? Lots. You know what I mean? Like, it's still interesting to me.
Yeah, we've gotten several comments over on 2 Cents Plus. It's like, I don't even really care about this game. I just enjoy you two. It's like, well, that's the whole point. For those who do enjoy the game, you get to watch us, fuck around and have fun. But the point is to entertain. The whole point of any of this is to entertain.
Yeah.
Or inform.
No, it's to entertain.
There's a lot of people on YouTube that are not entertaining, that are good informers, and that's pretty much it. They've done quite well for themselves.
Yeah, you can do well for yourselves being a informer. But the platform is to entertain people.
Of course it is.
Whether you're saying it's educational or, I mean, technically you can say that those fucking makeup tutorials are entertaining, but or informative. But I mean, the whole idea is to make it entertaining. Anything new in the hashtag? Let's see. There's a whole bunch of stuff. We got off topic all over the place. So let's see what we have in the latest news from Daily Mirror. Doctor warns people not to use Lush bath bombs as a dildo. Jesus fuck.
I love the rising sense of jocularity that Bear experienced there.
It's because my mind is busy creating an image in my head.
Well, here, let me help you out with the picture that they started the article with.
Okay. God, it had to be an eggplant, huh? Jesus.
Of course it was an eggplant. Anyone with an iPhone and dirty mind will be able to tell you that certain fruits and vegetables shaped emojis are viewed as being rather rude. We're, of course, talking about the peach-shaped bottom and the aubergine. Aubergine, thank you. Which is often used to signify a penis. Eggplant, just call it a fucking eggplant. Inspired by these animated symbols, Lush, the creator of weird and wonderful bath bombs, recently launched a new range of products for Valentine's Day 2019. But many people are rather concerned that they might not be used for their intended purposes. Social media users have speculated, so that nobody's even done it yet. So I have speculated some rather brave, silly person may decide to try using their eggplant-shaped bath bomb as a sex toy. One person posted on Twitter, okay, but did Lush really think this through? There's going to be at least one dumb shit that tries using the eggplant as a dildo. Well, yeah, of course there will. Somebody's going to jack off with it, but it hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
It probably has.
This is a story. No, because they're just coming out. Guys, don't shove soap up your vagina. Or your ass.
With the way that I agree, but with the way that social media works and the way that these things happen, we've got a new product coming out. Okay, how are we going to advertise this? Well, sex sells, always has, so we can associate it with that. I would not be surprised if somebody from the company's advertising arm went and approached a doctor and said, can we use this as a dildo? And then the doctor said no, and then thus the article is there. And they called up one of their media assets and said, hey, garbage tier fucker who writes so-called news articles, really a blog in the form of a news article, write up about how people are doing this. Like, no one's done it yet. Well, that's exactly the point. It's all just to get people talking about, oh, eggplants up pussies.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is for Valentine's Day. They did it on purpose.
Yeah, and it brings an awareness to the product and so on. I realize I'm really I don't know what, cynical and crusty about these things, but like, what do you want? Like 1/3 of all garbage tier news site articles are related to sex some way and somehow because they're absolutely desperate for clicks and views. So let's connect it to the lowest common denominator: sex, violence, racism. Let's go. You know, fuck it. I mean, whatchamacallit? True Detective season 3 premiered last night. I don't know if anybody's into True Detective. I was in a huge way. And so it was a big deal. The first one came out last night. Sunday nights for the next weeks are going to be reserved for True Detective viewing. And all over Twitter, all anyone's talking about is the main character's black. So guess what? Oh, it was originally written for a black or white actor, but this actor's so great. No, finally black representation. No, wait, why are you focusing on the black thing for? Black. Oh, God, fuck. Twitter is a sewer. It's a fucking sewer, guys.
Twitter is the most awesome place on the internet, you bastard.
Nope, it's not. I love
it. Is Holly on this. Twitter's cancer.
Look, you can get everything from real political stories to porn to holy shit, did you actually write that and post it? You don't get that anywhere else. You don't get that cornucopia of shit all in one place anywhere else.
You know what? If it was a true 4chan style free space of ideas, free marketplace of ideas, I would agree with you, but it's not. It's the blue check marks reign supreme. Come on, Monkey, you know this. It's
always makes me laugh when I see a blue check mark tweeting stuff and they've got no likes and no retweets, and they've just been fucking ratioed by someone.
I love blue check marks. They make me happy. They give
you something to talk about, Monkey.
They do, and I like to bitch about things. I like to talk about things, and without them, I'd be sitting here going, I guess it's time to jack off again. Thank you, Terry Diamonis. You're both right. Twitter is the best kind of cancer. Okay, I could go with that. The best kind of cancer.
I mean, yeah, I like it because there's a lot of fucking porn on there, which is, well, the thing is, I try not to get caught out as well. There's a reason why I can't follow any porn stars, because I spend a great deal of time on Twitter. And as you know, my 6-year-old has a bad habit of running into my office. And I really don't want him to see that video of the girl having a golf ball putted into her arsehole, which I've seen quite a lot recently. It's popping up more and more. I'm glad people are appreciating it. But yeah.
Little Butt knows how to take my phone and turn on any of my social media. So I don't follow any porn stars. And if somebody actually tweets that at me, I tend to hide it so that if she ever gets on there, she doesn't see it.
No, I'm curious. So you have a
Yeah.
phone that a child can use.
Yeah.
And they're a sharp kid, so they can turn it on. Don't you have your phone on lock just to avoid that, like a password or whatever?
Oh, it is unlocked, but there's times that I let her play with it because she likes to watch Netflix on there.
Right.
Well, so if the TV is being used for something else, she can watch her stuff on there, and so she uses it for that. She used to use it to go onto YouTube, which she's not allowed to do anymore. But it's not so much a matter. She doesn't even pay attention to the little icon for it. It's more of if she ever did it.
Right. Okay, I see.
Because there's three things she looks for on a phone. She looks for Netflix, she looks for YouTube, and she looks for Snapchat. Because the girl knows and loves to send Snapchats. Knows how and loves to do it. Just password specific apps. It's not that big of a deal. Like I said, I just keep my Twitter clean. She can't read the horrible stuff Grandpa's saying. So it's okay. I have an article.
I have a video of Theresa May being a cunt.
Wasn't that all of them?
Yes.
Okay. Woman banned from Walmart after riding cart while drinking wine from a Pringles can, say police.
Stop stealing all my ghost poo news, monkey. For fuck's sake.
Well, there's people that watch Ghost Poo who aren't watching this.
Right, everybody leave.
Plug your ears, guys. I have to read this story.
Come back in a few hours for Ghost Poo.
Wichita Falls, Texas. Police were called to a Texas Walmart after a woman was reportedly drinking wine from a Pringles can and riding an electric cart in the parking lot. Officers responded to the call about 9 a.m. about a suspicious person in the store's parking lot. Investigators found the woman at a nearby restaurant and told her she was banned from the Walmart. The caller said the woman had been riding around the store's parking lot since 6:30 in the morning.
Right, Alfie, come here and interrupt Monkey so we can't read this news story.
I'm done.
Say
Hi,
hello.
Alfie.
Hi.
Hi, Alfie. How you doing, bud?
He says, how are you?
Hi. You're very hungry, Dad.
Yeah, I know. My tummy's rumbling, yeah. You
Fine.
going to say how you are?
Thank you.
You going to ask how he is?
How are you today?
I'm crippled, thanks.
He says he's crippled, thanks.
Crippled or fine?
You going to bed?
Yeah.
Do you want me to take you to bed?
Yeah.
Night, Alfie.
Monkey says no night.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, dear.
He sounds so posh for a little kid. That accent just does it to the Brits. Oh, let's see. What is this? The Cut. This comes to us from Massive Dynamics. And it's about my favorite politician. Democrats scared AOC will mean tweet them. Dun, dun, dun. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has amassed a devoted following of people inspired by her unapologetic progressive platform, her desire to shake up the increasingly moth-eaten Democratic Party, and also her dance moves. And according to Politico, some of her fellow Democrats would like her to tone down all of that. Thank you. In a new report, lawmakers and aides shared their apprehensions about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's outspokenness and the huge influence she wields on social media. Some are reportedly, quote, hoping to coax her into using her star power to unite Democrats and turn her fire on Republicans. There's more to this story, but I really don't give a fuck. I read a thing on Twitter the other day from the hashtag resistance. And it was a really nice tweet. It really was. But it was really fucking stupid. It was somebody saying, look, we've all come together under hashtag resistance. And now let's not tear each other all apart as we get into the election. And if you're part of the resistance, I want you to hear my voice right now. It's going to happen. When a group gets together in opposition to something else, no matter what it is, a whole group comes together and like, let's use the Pringles can for the last thing. We hate Pringles. And like, okay, we've gotten rid of Pringles. Now we got to get a new chip. What kind of chip do we get? Nobody can agree. Everybody starts fighting. Suddenly the barbecue people are hating the sour cream and onion people. And over here you got, wait, I like Doritos. This is what happens when you come together in opposition to something rather than coming together to support something. So when Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
What
Penis.
happened?
It just sounded like somebody hit their mic, and I was making sure I wasn't interrupting somebody. But when a group comes together in opposition to something, when it comes time to stand up for something, they end up fracturing every fucking time. And that's going to happen really bad to the resistance as the election comes around. Because you're going to have some people who are like, I support Warren. And then somebody's going to stand up and go, no, I support Biden. And they're going, why do you like Biden? He's a creepy sniffer. Oh, yeah? Well, she thinks she's Indian. And there's going to be a lot of infighting. And it's going to be so fucking glorious to watch. I can't wait.
Are you eating on stream, Polly?
He's eating ice.
That is drinking.
He says
We've
it's
been over
drinking.
this.
Yeah.
That's right.
I had a little bit of a chew there, a little bit of a crunch.
But the point is, by the time that I swallow, it is liquid. Therefore, I am drinking. That
is his excuse.
And it's not an excuse. I'm gonna go have my dinner because I don't eat on stream. I have proper stream etiquette. Polly,
you drink on stream too. Everybody does, and so
I drink on stream, yes, but I don't eat on fucking stream.
I'm not eating. I'm drinking.
I heard a crunch.
But by the time I swallowed, it was liquid. You see,
don't try to use that bullshit logic, Polly. Right, I'm going, monkey. So I'll see you in a few hours, mate.
Yeah, man. Take care. I'll see you.
Toodles. Love you.
Have a good day, Bear.
Love you too, Bear.
There we go. Bye
bye. Yeah. So yeah, we are going to see the resistance fracture, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I say that, I mean, if you watch things like atheism on YouTube and everybody came together against religion, and then it came time for, well, what do we do next? That's when we got atheism plus and everything fractured. And that's when we got the SJW and the anti-SJW movement. And when the antis decided that they had beaten SJWs, you hadn't. And everybody started going, well, what are we gonna stand up to next? That's when they fractured. Leave it to Monkey to explain human relations via snack foods. Well, it worked, didn't it? That was a good metaphor, I think.
What is her name from Senator from California?
Feinstein?
Nope, the other one.
Fuck. God damn it! I know this. Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Blanked on her name. Attractive stern lady. Light-skinned black woman. She's a former prosecutor. Harris. Kamala Harris. Thank you. Did you watch the clip of her on the Colbert show there?
No.
Oh my God. It was just like love fest, fanfare. Like, it's like, so are you going to run for president? Colbert asked, and everybody's like, woo, because they turned the applause sign on.
Yeah.
And she's like, I might. And everyone's like, woo. Like, it was just like, it was so cringy. It's like late night comedy is really geared towards promoting the Democrats as much as possible. And in this way, everyone's like, Kamala Harris. I want to see, like, Kamala Harris is not somebody I would cross swords with lightly. She is a formidable intellect. There's no question.
Thank you, Cryptic, who says Harris. Yep. Intellectually, you're right. But when it comes to actually campaigning, I wonder how much she's going to bore the shit out of people.
When she doesn't have somebody to be an inquisitor upon.
Exactly.
Like, and that's what prosecutors do. They're inquisitors in a adversarial system in front of a judge. She's very good at it. She's obviously very practiced at it. I wouldn't want her laying questions at me. But what has that got to do with the debate? Because that's not the form of a debate. I haven't seen her in one, but I would love to see her in that form. And honestly, the planks in her political platform as they exist in California have no national appeal.
Right. You're right. It's funny to watch the way that the field is shaping up, because like we had Castro jump in, we had Garbard. Is that how you say her name?
That's a good question. And I refuse to underestimate her as a candidate from Hawaii. You're talking about.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I refuse to underestimate her. She checks enough boxes, but I don't think she's going to ultimately have the DNC support. But she is a very serious candidate amongst the Democrats. I will not take her lightly.
Her problem amongst the Democrats is that all of her the check boxes, they're the really horrible stuff, and then she actually checks more like Republican ones. People forget that she was part of the Standing Rock protest. When I was watching all of this stuff the other day, they're going to try to tear her down because she's too conservative. I'm like, do y'all really pay attention to her? Well, somebody said that, and then all of Twitter repeated it. I'm like, no.
Faithless says Gabbard is a centrist. Yeah, she absolutely is. She's the kind of Democrat that it's like, I tend to like right-leaning Democrats and left-leaning Republicans. I tend to lean slightly right of center on fiscal policy and foreign policy, and then I'm really a libertarian when it comes to social issues. You do you.
Yep. Social issues, like you talk. You know what, Polly? Can you hold the show for a minute if I step away?
Yeah.
Talk to the audience. Keep talking about what you were talking about. I'll be right back.
All right. And when you have some, and Gabbard herself, like former combat veteran, she's a no-nonsense lady. She has very particular views on the way foreign policy should run. Here should be our position in Syria, which, of course, her position is we should have no position in Syria. None of those things are appealing to a now leftward moved Democratic Party. I mean, the whole party moved left around her. So now she talks like a Republican. Not really. She talks like a Democrat, just according to the progressive liberals in the Democratic Party. She's basically a Republican as far as they're concerned. And those things end up removing all of her check boxes. Oh, well, she's the first Hindu member of Congress. Yeah, well, that doesn't matter because she has wrongthink. Well, she's a person of color. Doesn't matter. She has wrongthink. Well, she's a woman. Doesn't matter. She has wrongthink. Watch how quickly those identitarian things fall apart because of her wrongthink. Zero the Hero asks, allegedly people have found some bad tweets of Gabbard. I wonder how that will pan out. Yeah, bad tweets from the past. Those have destroyed many of people in 2018, right? It's Toasted Network. Do you think Gabbard and Harris being attractive will help them? That's actually an interesting question. Attractiveness in politics doesn't actually hurt. There's a reason why, and people still talk about the Richard Nixon, John F. Kennedy first televised presidential debate and how Nixon looked like a sweaty used car salesman and Kennedy looked like a bright, young, attractive, polished man. And it really hurt Nixon that people saw what a sweaty, greasy slime bag he ended up looking like. So looks matter in politics. Yes, they absolutely do. Do I think it'll ultimately help them? Media won't be able to lay out the criticisms at Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton looks like an angry old grandma. No, like her pantsuited look, Hill Dog's pantsuited look didn't help her very much. But in the end, it depends on how much media is on your side. In the end, if there's one thing I've learned from the 2016 presidential election is that if you want to run and the media is not on your side, you're going to have to run a Donald Trump style campaign where you make it about you versus the media, and therefore you get free coverage. I mean, mainstream media, with the exception of what? Breitbart and Fox were attempting to drag Hillary Clinton across the finish line. Like, she will be president. It's obvious, I still don't forget the no, it's all right. I still don't forget the New York Times cover of 92% chance of Hillary Clinton winning, and then they apologized for how bad their stats were and how they were biased in their coverage during the election, and then went right back to what they were doing. Oh no, wait a minute! They quadrupled down on what they were doing after an apology. I mean, Somebody just asked, do you think that how good-looking Harris and Gabbard are is going to have an effect? Toasted asked. I said, yeah, well, at least they're better looking than Grandma Clinton, but I really don't think it'll have much to do with it because if they don't have right think, the media will eviscerate you constantly.
It has nothing to do with that. That's actually being a beautiful woman running is going to harm them. in that there's a lot of women who are like, fuck that, fuck her, look, fuck that bitch, look how she look. I did a very good accent there. It'll hurt them with women. In fact, women tend to judge prettier women harshly. We just saw a study on this not too long ago. Women tend to, if they were not, they don't want ugly women, but they don't want women who are prettier than them. And yeah, that's actually going to be a detriment. What's going to hurt Gabbard? Is that how you say it, Gabbard? Am I saying?
I think it is Gabbard.
Okay. What's going to hurt her is that she's a representative rather than a senator. Go back through our history and look at the last time we elected a representative, somebody whose only job was that they were in the House. We elect senators, we elect governors, and we elect billionaires. Huh. We have something in our DNA where we just like, not a representative.
Well, we more than anything, we elect lawyers by trade.
Mostly, yeah.
Which I get, it makes sense. Cynical Ninja says it's sad. It's sad. Gabbard sounds like someone I'd vote for. It's a travesty what the Dems have become. And good, when a party's no longer fit for purpose, I hope it implodes upon itself. Otherwise, we're serving the parties instead of the parties serving us.
I wonder if Gabbard's wasn't in Hawaii, if she would have ran as a Republican or a Democrat, because she could go either way. She has enough boxes checked in each side that she could go either way. She could do, I'm a fiscal conservative, therefore I'm a Republican, or I'm a foreign relations conservative, therefore I'm a Republican. But then she does have the things that make her go to Standing Rock.
It's like I said while you were away, it's Gabbard can have all these great things. She's Hindu, and she's a first Hindu member of Congress, and she's a woman of color and combat veteran. She's got all these wonderful firsts and great feminist things, and people that care about identitarian politics, they care about those things. In my opinion, all those things are canceled out because of a wrong think. Because Ben Carson came from shitty beginnings, dealt with a lot of crap in his youth because of poor socioeconomic conditions, and yet he's a doctor and so on, educated, wealthy, made a hell of a life for himself, and a pediatrician of all things, a child doctor, right? But what ends up happening to him? Oh, you're a Republican? Look at what was laid out at him. He got the House Negro comments. He got all of the things. It's like the videos you see of white people hurling racial insults at black cops, saying you're a coon, and it's like, I can't believe I'm watching this right now. Like this, no, I think all those things will ultimately be canceled out because of a wrong thing.
My favorite thing about Ben Carson was he's an idiot. Like, this man's literally a fucking brain surgeon.
Yeah, you might disagree with his policies, but he's not an idiot,
right?
I mean,
Anthony Vogel says, if the Dems keep moving left, could it break the two-party system? No. That the Democrats and the Republicans, above all else, they will keep the two-party system because it benefits them.
Sorry, go ahead, Monkey.
If we see where it's starting to look like maybe a third party will pop up, and we had that with Ross Perot. If you go back and look at him, Ross Perot had a huge following, and he took from basically what a lot of us feel who do have like conservative fiscal policy support. I'm very fiscally conservative, and I'm with Polly. I do not give a fuck what you do in your personal life. Now, I might talk about a lot of that kind of stuff because I have opinions on it, but when it comes time to pass policy on it, I don't give a fuck. Do not give a fuck what you do in your home life. As long as you are not hurting kids, do what the fuck you want. I don't care. And that was, Perot was fiscally conservative in a time when it became a very big issue. And socially, I don't know if I could even tell you what Ross Perot's social platform was. And he gets this big following, and then everybody just goes after that, to the point where by the end of what do you name his party? The American Party? I mean, it was
Perot?
just
I forget. Yeah, I
I
forget.
want to say it was maybe it was the independent part. I forget what he named it, but it was just decimated. The Republicans and Democrats came after them so hard that there was nothing. I mean, they couldn't sustain a third party because it can't be done. If you try to get a third party set up, the Democrats and the Republicans will come together to destroy you, because you're whether you like it or not, they are the power in the country. Those two together, and they will not let anything else happen. That's why they hate Trump so much. That's why there's so much, I mean, that never Trumpers on the fucking Republican side, because he's not really Republican. If you look at Donald Trump, his actual how he's lived his life and everything, he's not a fucking Republican. He's a New York Democrat.
Yeah, he's much more interested in Trump, much more interested in foreign policy and business policy, and then like one of the few presidential candidates to ever come out in support of the LGBT community during their campaign.
Yes,
like it's like he's just kind of doing what he needs to do. I don't think Trump cares about these things. He just had very, very strong opinions on like what border security, foreign policy, business, and then not have and claim to not have activist judges on the Supreme Court, any kind of, which means conservative originalist interpreters as he sees it. I don't know. He's kind of doing those things, but then he's also, trumping it up, of course. John Delaney was asked about Toasted Network asked me a couple times, what do you think about John Delaney? I mean, I know he's running. I know he threw his hat in the ring. He's from Maryland. I forget which district, but I don't know. He's kind of milk toast. I think he's going to fall through the cracks. He's just going to disappear. He's going to be there, but ultimately, no, I don't think his candidacy is going to go anywhere, because all he ever talks about is upping bipartisanism and ending partisanism, and it's like he doesn't really have any strong national appeal message.
Thank you, Campbell. That's German. I can't read German.
Well, hey, I recognize that Juden. I'm not saying that.
You're trying to make us say bad things, aren't you?
Yes. I don't know what any of the rest of it says, but I see that Juden in there, and I know it's from you, Campbell, so no. You dick.
But yeah, what you just pointed out, Trump, during the campaign, came out in favor of LGBT rights. And the answer to that was, look how much he hates gay people.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And this is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my lifetime. George H.W. Bush, by most standards, was quite Democrat in the way he did things. He was a fucking Democrat. Yeah, no, H.W. His dad, yeah. And Democrats fucking eviscerated him, which was weird. He let a lot of things that Democrats wanted done go through, including the tax increase. When it came to him losing, the only reason that people are like, oh, he lost because of Clinton. He lost because of Perot. If Perot hadn't been in there, he probably would have been reelected. Perot took a lot of conservative votes away from him. But he actually governed quite to the left, especially compared to Ronald Reagan, and even compared to Clinton himself. But because the way the parties work, you have to hate the leader of the other party. You just have to. You can't. And then you watch George H.W. Bush's funeral, and the number of people who came out and go, you know what, he was actually a pretty nice guy. Like, yeah, and if you would have said that before, everybody would have eviscerated you. You would, if you'd said that back in 1980, no, 92 was the election. If the Democrats who talked about how great he was after he died had said that during the election, they'd have been cast off, and Clinton never would have won, because our parties are fucking retarded. But they are not going to let a third party pop up. They just will not. Zorant Zero, thank you. I took the political test, and I was literally on box to the bottom left center. Yeah, I'm a straight white male Nazi that hates all good things. The last time I've taken it several times throughout my life, and I'm slowly moving closer to the left. I am just on the libertarian side. I'm on the libertarian side, but I'm just to the right of the center line. Have you taken it many times, Polly?
I have, and I don't know. I find myself frustrated with it's like I see what this question is asking, but I need more information to be able to go one way or another. And I'm like, fuck it, you have to make a call. And then by doing it, I know I'm shifting myself, like, remaining in the center. You know what I mean? Like, I ended up like slightly up into the authoritarian side for national policy. I don't know. Like I was pretty central is what I mean. Like it was only slight that I was in either direction. And it's like, I think it's because I kept hedging my bets on what I thought they were asking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. A lot of those questions, if you do that, if you try to think about what they're trying to ask, I just answered them how I would answer them if somebody asked me that question out loud, I wanted to address something that was said a long time ago, back when I was talking about how the anti-SJWs splintered. I think it was Tom who said they didn't really splinter because they weren't really a group or a community. That's not exactly true. When at the height of this, if you go back to just after the 2016 election, as the skeptosphere is winding down, there was a group there was a clique at the top there, and those are the ones who really fractured, and then everybody else started taking sides. You're correct in that it wasn't a whole community, but very few people during the height of the skeptosphere made a video about Sargon being wrong, or made a video about Jeff Holiday being wrong, or you know what I mean? Nobody in the skeptosphere went after each other at all. But once they decided to start going after other people, once because Kraut wanted to go after the alt-right, and Sargon's like, no, let's just do this over here. That's when everything splintered. That's when the implosion happened, and we saw what we see today, where if you say you're a skeptic, it's actually been used as an insult against me on Twitter. Like, you're just a stupid skeptic. Like, all right. Okay. And you just believe what you're told? I mean, it's funny because it's everybody going after everybody. And what you're going to see is you'll probably see a rise of a it's going to come out wrong. It's not anti-democracy, anti-democratic party leader kind of thing. You'll see people who start making videos about, let's say Warren gets the nomination. She's not, but let's say she gets the nomination. You'll see people start making videos about that, about her policies and stuff like that. And it's going to be a group of people who are against other folks. And you might see some collaborations or some shout outs. And then after the election, no matter who, if she wins, they'll stay together until she's out of office. But if she loses, that group will splinter too. Because if you come together against something, even if it's just a lightly formed alliance, it splinters when you have to stand up for something. You're just a stupid skeptic. It's on my Twitter, man. It's over there somewhere. I've actually had 2 or 3 people do that. You're just a skeptic. You're one of them skeptical people. You're one of the bad ones. Like, fuck off. Why don't you address what I actually said, you stupid bitch? Which is fun. Excuse me. Which is funny, Monkey. Which is funny because you're one of the most objective people I know, Monkey. That's one of the reasons I followed you. Oh, thank you. I try. I'm actually one of the people who did make a video about Sargon during the height of all of that. I've actually made a couple. Oh, nuts. That's nice. I started following Monkey for his voice. You're a sweetheart. I'm one of the few people I know who do love his voice, who does love his own voice.
Who?
No, me.
Yeah.
I love the sound. I don't. A lot of people, when they get into doing this, the hesitation they have is, I hate my own voice. And I recorded my voice and listened to them, like, I sound pretty good.
I don't like the sound of my own voice. It's not a
why?
It's not a question of whether I like the tonal quality of it or the resonant quality of it or anything like that. It's just editing videos, listening to the sound of my own voice. A lot of people find it off-putting and cringe-inducing to listen to themselves talk, and I'm one of those people. Absolutely.
I don't understand that.
That's my major hurdle in editing is having to listen to myself.
Ed and Brian Krassenstein, you should be offended at the sound of your own voice because holy fuck.
I had no idea their voices were. I had no idea their voices were that high pitched. You couple of weirdos, man. No wonder they work out as much as they do. Oh, that's what I meant to say. You see that they clearly work out, but I also get the impression they're like 5'3".
Hang on to that notion. Okay. In chat, press 1 if you like Polly's voice. Yeah, I don't. I've seen a picture of them before. They were whining that somebody was coming after their kid because they posted a picture of them that was public. But you can see the two of them and next to a child, and yeah, they don't look very tall at all. I'll look at all them ones. See, you have a very nice voice, and you shouldn't cringe at it because it's very nice.
Well, Deborah Miller says she agrees. She hates my voice too. So there it is.
She full of shit.
She full of shit. Stop it with the ones or I'm going to leave. God
look,
damn it.
I don't have people on my show whose voice is cringy because I have to listen to it for fuck's sake.
I'm going to go on and embarrass. Stop it with the ones or I'm going to leave.
Kingslayer Damocles says, if you love your own voice, then make some videos, bro. Aren't you listening to my voice right now?
Yeah, there you go.
I win. Look, I know I need to make a video. That Procter and Gamble. That Procter and Gamble thing might be enough. It's going to either be Procter and Gamble's thing or AOC because that bitch is on my last nerve. And I think it would be a funny video to talk about her. But that Menon thing, oh God, did you hear what that was all about?
The Procter
and Gamble.
Well, no, I didn't. But I do want to hear about that because I don't know what you're talking about. But I do.
Okay.
On a side note, because it's still Krassenstein related. Your boy Pat says, I believe they buy their own tweets because how could somebody have that many followers, be so anti-Trump, and not be blue check marked? I hear you, and I know Pat hates the Krassensteins as much as you and I do, Monkey, because I've seen his tweets about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They're Pat, my belief is because they do multi-level marketing. You know, they run Ponzi schemes. They had their assets seized by the federal government because of it. If what they're doing isn't illegal, then it's right next door or living beside the house of illegal, like literally camped out next door. They're masters of fake media, fake hype manipulation to make people think something's going on that really isn't going on. That's what multi-level marketing is all about. Right. That's how you get a Ponzi pyramid scheme going. You make people think something really big is going on and then spread out the base wider and wider. I think they did purchase followers. They engaged in a massive refollow campaign. Like, look how many followers they have. It's in the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. They latched on like a fucking leech, a parasite to Donald Trump's at the real Donald Trump Twitter handle and just respond to everything he says 4 or 5 times a day to gain massive engagement. It is the worst kind of social media fuckery that I know of are the Krassensteins. I don't think they give a fuck about Trump one way or another. I don't. It's just
no, they don't. It's marketing.
Yeah, and they expanded with thehillreporter.com.
That is something real quick. Let me get this. Terry Diamandis, thank you so much. I hate my own voice, but it's not going to change anytime soon. So I didn't see much of a reason for that to be a reason for me not to stream. Dude, your voice is awesome. I agree with Gutenberg. I love your
angels
voice.
Dancing in your ears.
It's awesome. Yeah. But as to the Krassensteins, the retweet the refollow campaign, that's a big part of it. If you look at, I have Ed's up. He is the bigger of the two when it comes to how big their size is, their following is.
Yeah.
He has got 864,000 people following him. He follows 671,000 people.
It's unfucking believable. I get why. Oh, you got a super chat there, Monkey.
Campbell, thank you. Is that French? Lenore sont des Gensales. I don't know what that means. He says French is romantic. I probably just said something horrible, but it's in French and I don't understand.
As soon as it starts with Lenoise, I believe he's saying something about black people.
Oh, is that black?
Well,
blacks don't. Do gun sales? Is that what that is? I don't know what that means. That's my best English translation of that.
The blacks don't do gun sales, therefore French is romantic.
Exactly.
Black or Penny Scotsman says, "Oh, there it is." Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember what we were talking about before the.
We were talking about refollow campaigns. Now, I sandboxed an idea. And Twitter would not do this because the more they're in favor of refollow campaigns because it's engagement and they want as much activity as possible, which is why Twitter has their own created bots retweeting and sending stuff and so on. It's just activity on the platform to make it look like it's highly, highly active. If you take a look at their stock price and their diminishing user base, I can understand why they want as much engagement as humanly possible. So refollows, they're all about it, especially just bots that do nothing but retweet, more activity, right? But let's just say they weren't like that. How could you get these motherfuckers who just want, like the Palmer Report, the Krassensteins, these cocksuckers, the fuck off of this site so they keep popping up off of that platform? I thought, rules like what? Would it be if you are following anything over, 20,000 people? You know, or if you're, and the amount of people that you are following and follow are within 10% of each other and both numbers are over 20,000, your account is deleted because you're engaged in a refollow campaign. Like refollows bug me. And I know like certain people that I know, like Skeptalk, he does the refollow thing. And I'm like, dude, don't do it. Don't be that guy. You know,
refollow campaigns don't work. One of the things I saw when I first came to YouTube was, that's where I first really learned about refollow campaigns was on YouTube. And I used to watch so many of the videos on how to, I mentioned that before, you know, how to YouTube, how to gain an audience, that kind of thing. And if you read the comments in all of those, you have people go, if you follow me, I'll follow you back. But here's the problem. Nobody reads that. Nobody watches that. Like, I guarantee you, Ed Krassenstein is not paying attention to all 671,000 people he's following. There's no fucking way he could. There's just no way. So if you're okay, somebody who refollowed Ed here, right? Ed gets a follow, they get a follow. But that person that followed him, Joe Blow over here, that's the only follow he gets. Meanwhile, Ed's doing this with everybody. So Ed ends up with 61,000 or 670,000. Thank you. My brain fucked up. And all of those people who followed him get one. That doesn't work out for you guys, did it? I mean,
right.
So yeah, he gets to be every time he tweets at Trump, it pops up. So it's like one of the main things you see because he has this huge following. It's moronic. But we were going to talk about the Procter & Gamble campaign.
Yes.
Their old slogan, the best a man can get. Okay. Now they're asking, is this really the best a man can get? As they beat men down for being men. The name of their campaign is We Believe, and their ad starts out talking about #MeToo. So yeah, their Procter & Gamble is coming out to tell us how bad we are as men, because there have been some bad men. Don't worry if you're a woman and there's been bad women out there. You're not one of them. You're one of the good ones. But all men are bad because #MeToo. Yeah. So, Polly, you're an asshole. Procter & Gamble has told me so.
I've heard.
Because #believe. I hate this believe stuff more than probably anything I've seen in the last year and a half. This believe all women, no matter what nonsense. And I mentioned this earlier in the show, but you weren't here, so we can talk about it again. This is going to burn some of these guys who are saying it. There's going to be some of these guys who are out there going, I believe all women. And somebody's going to go, he raped me. He's going, that bitch is a liar. And sorry, you told me to believe her. You told me to believe all women.
The Michael Avenatti effect?
Yes, exactly.
Believe all women until they accuse me.
until they accuse me. And that's the problem, guys. I know you think you're doing the right thing, and I don't think a lot of the guys who are doing this are doing it so, hey, I can get pussy. I know there's male feminists who do that, but there are guys out there who genuinely think we should believe women because they are so oppressed, and because that's all we hear is how oppressed they are. And they don't pay any attention to the stories about these women who fucking lie all the time. And women will lie just like a man will. You guys do realize women are not like alien creatures, right? They're human. Anything a man will do, a woman will do, except maybe pee standing up and ejaculate into another woman because they can't. But I mean, they're not like above ever lying, and we've seen it so many times. There was a story just the other day where a fucking bitch is going to jail because she accused a man of rape, and the only reason he didn't go to jail is because there were text messages from her after their sexual encounter where she was all good with it.
Wow.
What happens to you if you're that guy, you did nothing wrong, and you didn't text about it to each other afterwards? Oh, you're going to jail to get butt fucked for 5 to 15 years. Monkey, but only 2% of accusations are false. Yeah. That is such nonsense. Ugh. My favorite part about that, and I pointed out on the video where she first did it, was when Lacey Green started pushing that bullshit. If you went and looked at her link, because that's what I do. If somebody makes a claim, I go check it out. Her link was to an FBI instruction manual on how to fill out rape reports. It didn't say fuck all about any of the statistics. Nothing. And that finally became a big thing. I don't think she's ever corrected herself on that, because if you go look up that statistic online, you can't find it anywhere. And that's what during the Blair White Lacey Green discussion, when Blair White's like, I can't find this. I can't find it. And like, well, I'll send it to you. And I reached out to Blair White and asked her, I'm like, did she ever send it? And she's like, no. So that's because it doesn't fucking exist. The actual number last I heard was estimated to be like 15%. That's 15% of guys who are going to prison for false rape. But that's all right. Believe all women. Why aren't you the crybaby little bitch that kicked me from Discord? Wait, aren't you you're arguing with somebody. Campbell, in my Discord, just like here in the chat and when you do your super chats, this isn't the kill stream, man. I love the kill stream, and Ralph will read everything, and maybe you can go over to his place and do it. You had people with feces all over them. Oh, and behave. Be nice. Lacey can be a bubblehead at points. She can, and Lacey is one of the great disappointments on YouTube to me, because she's not a dumb girl.
No, not by any means.
No, but she keeps doing dumb things and saying dumb things. And even before her and Chris Ray-Gun hooked up, she would say things that were just like her video on consent. Did you see that? It was so bad. Where she's pretending to fuck, and the whole time, every like pump, is this okay? Is that good? If you do that to a woman, that woman is going to kick you off of her and kick you out of your life. Because once you agree to it, she doesn't want you there making sure every pump along the way is okay.
Every pump.
Well, that's what they want. Affirmed consent.
It doesn't pass the laugh test, and it never did. The idea of like, what is it? What's the phrase? Ongoing, clear, and enthusiastic consent, or whatever. And
affirmed consent, because it has to be affirmed. You can't just take her moans for it. She has to actually say yes. So it has to be affirmed consent. It's fucking retarded.
I mean, those are the things those are the discussion points, in my opinion, that got people bored of anti-feminism on YouTube and anti-SJW videos, right? Where people just the talking points became a little bit stale. It became about consent, consent, consent. I understand why like Bering was going at Michael Rowland's, because he would ask a very particular question, like, is it possible for a woman while intoxicated to have consensual sex? Great question. Because the idea is like, as soon as a woman's intoxicated, she's no longer able to consent. You got her drunk, and that's how, you know what I'm saying? So he asked a great question. Isn't, because Monkey, come on. You've never had a few drinks with Lady Monkey and then had sex and it was fine? Like, everybody in chat here who's had a drink is like, or does drink occasionally or to excess. Yeah, of course you've had consensual sex when both of you were intoxicated. But according to the thinking, no. The moment that she is intoxicated, she is no longer able to give consent. One, it's infantilizing. And two, how long can you talk about it before people get bored of it and just move on? I think that that's what people, it's like, we beat the SJWs. No one beat the SJWs. They just got tired of the million Riley response videos, the responses to the same talk.
Everybody does that. Everybody does that. Everybody says, you know, the Riley videos, everybody goes to those. And I know what you're saying, and I'll get to that in a minute.
All right.
But for the record, every Riley video will be a creator's best viewed video. It just is. Riley is one, a very good bellwether of SJW thinking, because Riley will listen to something or read an article and just go out there and give those talking points, because Riley doesn't think. Campbell, thank you. Bear reads my super chats, and he's a black Chan. Bear can do what he wants on his channel, man. We're different people. But to the point that you're making, I think what happened, at least in a lot of things, one, the channels weren't dying. The channels started dying when they stopped making new content. If you look at Sinatra's pretty much the only one who's still doing what he did all along, and he is blowing the fuck up.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point.
Because he's the only one still doing it. What happened, though, too, I do think you're right in a way. That, and we actually saw it with that Sargon tweet I was talking about earlier, where he's talking about, I thought you can't be racist against white people, or actually what he was saying is that because the guy in that video yelling the N-word at the black customer, no, it was because of Ian's tweet, can't be racist because Ian's not white, and they're like, ha, see, you can't be racist if you're not white. All right, fine. Do you actually have a different point? And that's what it became. It would be like in the video you're talking about. Lots of us, make jokes about you have to have a confirmed dissent all the time. We can only make that joke so many times before people are like, do you have a different joke? Do you have it's not that the points were bad. It's that there was so much repetition and there was nothing new. Nothing new.
But that's all I mean. Like, I mean, the Riley, you know what? The Riley example is, as Pat just said, low-hanging fruit, as much as Riley is low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a go-to reference, and it's a stale one. And I hear it's the staleness of the jokes that I was talking about. Like,
yes.
Andy, there's a reason I stopped watching Andy Worski a long time before the whole Kilroy thing, and before Medicare decided to turn him against the entire skeptic community, and Andy's so manipulable, he went, okay, I'm now an edgelord arguer, like whatever.
Fuck
but I stopped listening to him because I had seen enough Franny videos. Remember when 1 out of 3 of his videos was a Franny video? It's like, yes, some of them were funny, but then it got stale real fast. So you're a one-trick pony, and I just don't really want to listen anymore. He seemed like a nice enough guy. It wasn't out of anger or hate. It was out of boredom and indifference, where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be watching that anymore. That's all.
Well, Sinatra's the one that I think so many people need to look at. And I'm not necessarily meaning go watch his videos. You should watch his videos. Sinatra's a buddy of mine. Watch his videos. Help him out. But he's the example I use because his content is pretty much the same, and he keeps banging the same drum, but it's not just bedroom feminists. That was the part where it's like, oh, it's just bedroom feminists. The people who thrived even as the skeptic sphere was falling apart were the ones who would go to news articles. They would talk about legislation that was coming up, or speakers who were on college campuses talking about this shit. The bedroom feminist thing went pretty fast. It really did. But you still had people out there trying to embrace that. while still making the same stupid jokes. The reason the Bering thing with Michael Rowland's worked, one, Bering was asking really good questions, but Michael Rowland's, for those of you who don't know, here's what happened. There was a video of a girl.
I forgot about this whole. Yeah.
Where a girl claimed that she had blackout sex with somebody, and she only remembered 3 things. She remembered having sex, just a part of it. She remembered throwing up. What was the other one? Was it walking to his hotel or to his dorm or leaving? I can't remember.
It was throwing up outside of. Yeah, it was during her TEDx talk, right? Yeah. And she was saying, and it was with the app to identify potential predators, what have you, assaulters on campus, because people could upload their stories. It's like, imagine this story. And she tells the story that you're referring to. A girl, she goes, and the things where she could only remember 3 things. One of them was like coming to in the middle of sex, like with her head up against the wall, and it was doggy style or whatever. And then the one before that was like throwing up in the hallway and then stumbling towards it, things to that effect. And then it all ended with the next day, that girl, or a few days later, whatever, the girl ends up screaming at the guy, "Hey, it's not like I had a choice." And it's like, it was a vague, foggy story that Bering made a big deal out of, saying, well, not a big deal, a rightful deal, going, based on the facts that you've told us, this can't be considered rape. Like, she doesn't even know what happened one way or another.
Yeah, and real quick, Faithless points out, this was hypothetical. This was not real.
It was. It's true. Imagine this scenario was what she said during the TEDx talk. Well, now you can point out at this person through this app that this guy's a potential, and it's like, so forming like digital dossiers on guys on campus, and so they can add up when it eventually law enforcement, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and Michael called Bering a rape apologist because of this.
Yeah.
And what Bering pointed out is, one, okay, we don't know if the guy was just as drunk as her. We don't know if in her blacked out state, she said, yeah, come on and bang me. And his question was, he actually made a video later, like, should women even be allowed to drink if they can't be responsible for their own actions? Because in this hypothetical, she could have said, yeah, let's fuck. But because of where this hypothetical went from this TED talk, it was automatically rape because she was drunk and she blacked out sometimes. And remember, in order for her to get to all of these positions and stuff, she had to do it herself. She had to actually walk to the hallway to puke. So Bering asked, should women even be allowed to drink if they can't be held responsible for their actions when they do?
Or at the very least, should drunk sex always be considered a man raping a woman? If it's heterosexual sex between a man and a woman, both parties are drunk, should it always be rape because a woman is incapable of giving consent? And like that,
exactly.
Wow, that's going to screw up everyone's weekend good time, won't it? But it's a great question.
It gets even deeper. I mean, when you think about is a woman responsible for drunk driving if she kills someone?
Right.
She has no accountability for anything else. Why would she have? Why would that be her fault? The problem is we have a very society is starting to move down a path where we you used the word earlier, infantilize women. We treat them like they're these little tiny girls that have to be taken care of at all times. But they can do everything a man can. Like, well, pick one, because those don't go together.
That's the central frustration and a grappling point that people say, oh, here's a point for discussion. No, and usually it's bullshit. What they mean is like, let's just think like I think when they say this should be opened up to a discussion. No, that's an actual point of discussion. If women are the oppressed, if a group, let's focus on women, if a group is an oppressed class, help me, and we need to do something different. We need to be strong allies, whatever. I have 2 questions about it every time. One, help me understand how that's not infantilizing and removing their agency. And 2, help me understand how this isn't a repackaged white man's burden. Oh, indeed. Real quick, guys, this episode of The Ranting Monkey is brought to you by The Ranting Monkey. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a $sign down in the bottom of your chat box, or you can hit me up over on the Streamlabs. You can also just subscribe, like, and share the stream. Polly, where can they find you? They can find me over on, hold on, make sure I'm not linking to porn. Not that that's what I'm doing while we're talking.
We can't afford a real ad, so we have to just do this.
I love it. The Ranting Monkey is brought to you by Ranting Monkey. I'm going to steal that line. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you right now. I'm going to.
Oh, that's fine. The dick of the day is Ed and Brian Krassenstein.
Yeah, and that is dick singular because that's one person who budded and became two. That's
they're literally one of two.
You can find me over at my channel right there, link in the chat, where we do comic book curation, where we have fun times talking about social stuff in and around, widely spread around comic books, and we have our little fun banter. And Jack from Bad Comic Reviews, who's often a guest here, and Inquisitor from the Minions join me to do it, and we have a good time. Come by, see what you think.
Cryptic, thank you. Frankly, I haven't dated in years due to this bullshit. Yeah, and we're actually seeing a decline in birth rates to the point where white people aren't replacing themselves anymore. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't give a fuck if white people replace each other. Not one fuck in the world. I do think white people need to fuck more, though. Whether you're fucking a white girl, a black girl, an Asian girl, Elizabeth Warren, whoever, we need to replace our population. At least replace it. We don't need to necessarily go bigger, but white people, get out there and fuck. It's good for you.
Fair enough. One thing that I will say, if we were talking about like low-hanging fruit YouTube content,
sure,
and things along those lines, if you're interested, like you Monkey or you in chat, and you want to look at some like actually really challenging material that'll get your brain going on some Jordan Peterson level type, get your brain going, check out 1791L as a channel. They are, everyone says criminally undersubbed, but they are truly criminally undersubbed. Their video from yesterday, it's two guys who do it. The editing is top notch. The voice work and the scripting is second to none. Their video yesterday was on the split between Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro. You know, Ben Shapiro's Sunday specials.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thought that when Ben Shapiro invited Tucker Carlson on, it was going to be an agreement fest, right? They're both conservatives. Yes. They're, you know, it was anything but. They agreed.
They actually argued a lot.
And so I'm just grabbing the link for that video right now. 1791L kind of steps into the middle of it and says, here's what Shapiro's saying, and here's the sources that he's saying where he's getting this from. And Tucker responds in this way. And it's not a response style video. It is on the level of PBS documentary level quality analysis. It asks a lot of the tough questions about what is with the malaise and ennui in society. Why is it that Trump communities are like solid Trump community voters tend to be white, lower population, lower replacements? They go into ideas that are technological determinism in the change of society. This is how we can look at South Korea, because this is what made me think about it, Monkey, that you said white people are not replacing themselves as quickly as other demographics. Take a look at the South Korean population, where they have a huge technological advantage, so to speak, not better technology. It's just more widely spread. Internet connected everything, the most advanced phones, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They are a tech swamped society in terms of computers and tech. They also have a radically high suicide rate. Confucianism, the traditional widespread religious movements in their society, is almost being largely abandoned. No one's getting married. No one's in relationships. Everybody's living a somber, sober, solo, depressed life, and their suicide rate is insane. And this video touches on all of those ideas. It's intense thoughts. This is YouTube at its best. Like, this is the material that cable news should be bringing forward, but instead they do panel discussions around Twitter arguments.
I'm not sure how to say this name. I think it's I don't know what the SPC Trucker 91, I think is how you're supposed to say that. What about the double standards on sexual assault? We need to address it. Because going back to the drinking thing, a man can drink, go have sex, and it's not considered rape. He's not raped because, one, we have a weird definition of rape in the world. Actually, in most of the world, it's the only way to be raped is if you have a vagina or you got anally fucked, because it takes penile penetration, which is bullshit. But if a woman has one drink and she consents to sex and then can later go, well, I had a drink, it's rape, then the same should be said of men. And then when you get into like sentencing and stuff for it, which we see with teachers who are banging their students, mostly is where we see this. The women get. There was that woman in fucking Britain who they didn't throw the book at her because she had a degree and the judge didn't want to ruin her career. Meanwhile, everybody has lost their shit over what's the dude who banged the girl behind a dumpster? Somebody help me out in chat. The guy who got off with just a slap on the hand for the same thing. When it comes to rape in our society or sexual assault in our society, you can't sexually assault a space trucker. Thank you, but I'm sorry that I read it that way. You can't assault a man unless it's another man doing it. Brock Turner, thank you guys. But a woman if you touch her in any way or you even look at her, if you look at her too long, you just raped her. I'm like, what the that's not how it should work. When people talk about the ERA and we need the ERA. Yeah, we do, but not for why you think. We have become so protective of women, and I get it. I have a daughter and I want her protected too, but my daughter should be accountable to the same laws as my sons are. Stacey Dash. Yeah, let's look at her real quick. Ooh. That one. I wish there were more of that one because it looks like she's wet, and I really love the pictures of like women coming out of a shower. They look so good with their curly hair all wet. I used to when Lady Monkey would be showering and I wasn't allowed in, I would just jump so I could look in from the top because I like a wet naked lady. Yeah, when it comes to our society, that we treat women as both children and gods. They can do everything. But not if there's a man around, because that might make it so they can't. I saw a story just the other day. A woman's like, women need to have special time off. I think she was asking, what was it, 2 days a month from work, paid, because women have periods. And like I thought that was empowering to y'all. Oh, thank you, Circus Zero, over on the Streamlabs. Let's check that out here. Thank you, Circus Zero. In most societies, birth rates drop as life expectancies go up, and that's true. But we do need to replace our population, and I don't care about the whole white part of it. I really don't. Because that's what it is. It's only the white population that's not replacing themselves. As long as people who believe in Western values exist, I'm happy. That's why if you want to go out and fuck every color of the rainbow, knock yourself out. Just we need to make sure we're replacing the population so that we can make sure we take care of all the jobs that need done.
Hello,
welcome back.
That's what happens when you multitask on a potato.
No problem, dude. I've gotten very good at just talking out loud to myself. Poor
everything just froze because I was doing 20 things at the same time.
That's one of the reasons that my donations right now are earmarked for RAM. I need to get up to 16 because I'm only at 8. Mm-hmm. And I've had problems with some freezing as I try to do things.
And I've had Chrome freezing problems that I only ever use Chrome for Google Hangouts. I use WaterFox as my go-to browser. But I don't know why recently Chrome started to freeze on me when I'm in the middle of a Hangout. It's been doing that for like a month or two now.
RJ says, let's play Catch the Pussy. What? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I've had a couple of times where I go to share screen and it just freezes everything on Firefox. And like, well, shit. Or on Chrome, sorry. Yeah.
I did talk the fuck up out of that 1791L channel and that video. So there's the link. And yeah, that's 24 minutes of intense shit. Like it will, after watching it, it will have you, like, it's again on the Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro debate, but all of the issues that are around it that they raised. What's up with the malaise in society? Where is this all going? What happens when spiritualism disappears? the atheist's choice of a purely secular society, is that going to help or not? Oh man, all the questions come up there, and it's an intense ride, man.
Well, they had their conversation was a really good one. I enjoyed when he had Joe Rogan on. They agreed a lot more, but it was a different kind of conversation. And I was actually surprised. I'm going to get in trouble for this because I know there's fans out there. Tucker Carlson doesn't look like a smart guy.
No, but he's bright as fuck. Look, no, yeah.
But I have trouble because of that. My brain's like, this guy should be an idiot.
You're trying not to judge the book by its cover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my brain is fighting it, but he's actually a pretty bright guy, and I don't agree with him on everything. I tend to find myself agreeing more with Ben than I do with Tucker, but it was a really good conversation that I didn't
like you find the point that they were making in between, like Shapiro believing
not necessarily on this.
Okay. Because I mean, he took the position of that the malaise is coming about because of a lack of spirituality, not necessarily Judeo-Christian, but spirituality in general, the technology and so on. And Tucker took the position of, no, it's the destruction of the family unit that's causing this. And you took Shapiro's side on that.
I do. In that argument, I actually do. And it's not necessary. I agree with him, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't think it's spirituality. I don't think it's anything necessarily religious. I do think we need communities that are united by something bigger than ourselves. And whether or not that is making the best community on the planet with the best gardens or whatever it is, there has to be something that unites. We need to be part of something. And that's what
we are social cultural animals. There's no question.
Exactly.
Living off on your own, activating sexual impulses through porn satisfies that. We get food, we can order it in, and then we can pretend to have, full air quotes here, friends by sending out tweets and having them responded to. It's all of those things are met at the lowest level that they possibly can be. And you may not notice it, but your brain and your soul noticed how hollow it was.
Yes. Church has been traditionally, churches, whatever, whether you're talking synagogue, what is the blow up people's one called?
The
mosque, or just a church. That's what used to unite the communities. That's what used to bring us together. And without that, we seem lost. We really, really do. I don't necessarily disagree with Carlson that the destruction of the family has been part of it. But I think that has more to do with the community, because it used to be, I mean, it was God's word that the man provide for his family and the woman stay home and take care of things. And I don't think that necessarily, I mean, men and women can both work, but without the religious influence, the family has fallen apart. And I think it's a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing rather than, no, it's this one or that one.
No, I would agree with that generally. And that is what makes that 1791 video so challenging, because they don't say, oh, it's obviously this, and here's a study that demonstrates it. They more, hey, look, here's what Tucker said, and here's what so-and-so said. But I think that they're missing just some of these other factors that are going towards it. But the overall sort of semi-black pilled, like dark gray pill that comes out of that video that you walk away with is we satisfy our innate human needs in ways that are unsatisfying, and we become more distanced from each other. And they make the exact point you just made, that like community used to come through church. So is it the community's missing, but also the spiritual aspect of it's missing? So two things are falling apart. And then, wow, I don't even know what to do with that, the information of that video. I'm not walking out of it saying, now I understand. If anything, I understand the depth of the problem more, and that makes it even worse. Well,
this is something that we don't much talk about, because atheism became quite a big thing here in the U.S. It's much bigger overseas. I mean, when they do polls of how many people are Christian in the UK, it's like none. But I don't necessarily think spirituality has to be part of it. I think it's the community itself that does it. And I think that the spiritual aspect, I'm using air quotes, of the church has always been used to force the community, if that makes any kind of sense. It gave you the rules for the community. You know what I mean?
Communities, well, if you get into a little social psychology, all communities are based around the institutions, be they formal or informal, of the community. And when a major underpinning one of them goes, yeah, it's a problem, especially because whether you want to like it or not, in the West, you're raised in a Judeo-Christian tradition. Its laws influence it. Doesn't mean you need to be a Christian, accept Christ as your personal savior. It's not what you're saying. It's just,
but
that's
you should, or you're going to hell.
Well, Jews don't even believe in hell. So what are you talking about? Anyway,
they're going to hell too.
And like I said, they're going to hell.
I learned that on South Park.
Well, I don't know but well, to address a point that you just said, it's like, you take a look at the polls in the UK. Yeah. Okay. Well, the UK isn't the whole world, and look at the malaise that they're facing. You know what I mean? Look at South Korea and the malaise that they're facing. You want to talk about the spike all over it, like Christianity, especially Catholicism, is still massive as fuck all throughout South America. People that identify as believing in a higher power of some sort throughout the United States is still massive as fuck. Spiritualism in general throughout Africa is huge. Christianity is making massive inroads. You should see the size of the Russian Orthodox Church and its like exponential increases following the fall of communism. It's still going up and up and up. We are spiritual seeking animals. And that doesn't mean I'm not talking, go find Jesus. It's just, we are always seeking something larger than ourselves.
Exactly.
We're geared towards that. And to pretend on a Sam Harris level that reason can be our God, he didn't say that, but that we can exist in some kind of atheist utopia. This man's ignoring basic human nature. And for somebody who scored a undergraduate degree in philosophy, you'd think he'd know better. But
well, I think again, he wants to be Hitchens so bad it's sad.
Yeah. Yes, he does. And he can't write like Hitchens. I've read Hitchens stuff. Just on a level of enjoyment of reading. Hitchens is a glorious writer. Sam's book was dry and boring, and his entire attempt to, I'm surprised that nobody talks about this when it comes to Harris. He's an educated man in philosophy, especially in ethics. I would go so far as to call him an ethicist, like in terms of structured ethics. He tries to, because if there is no God, then that means there is no objective morality. That's the general formulation.
True.
So can we create a structured ethical system that's inherent to the world such that there is something that we can call moral and ethical amongst ourselves, even though there's no objective God causing it, because he rejects that there is a God. So he attempts to do that in his last book. I read it, and it's like, guy, this is reformulating utilitarianism. This is just John Stuart Mill repackaged and not done very well. You could have done better. It was a failed effort. It's been like on his part. Utilitarianism was a failed effort. Whatever delivers the most good to the most people with a few restrictions and parameters is that which can be considered moral. Well, fuck off, Sam Harris. That doesn't work because there's too many exemptions to it. There is no such thing as objective morality in a materialist atheist view of the world. And
I'm not a fan of Harris. I find him to be rather boring, and on some things, like he's come out like as militantly anti-Trump, which that's fine, but he's made an ass of himself doing it several times, where his the logic required to understand the rest of what he writes, it's just like, Sam, where'd your logic go?
Well, and this is what I mean. He tries to raise that, like, this reason should be our guide, reason through everything, right? And I am a strong believer in the power of human reason. Absolutely. But he makes it sound like reason is not affected by emotional considerations nor cultural ones nor whatever. It can remain supreme over top of all of them. No, it can be used to analyze all of them, but don't act like you, Sam Harris, are not subject to these same things. How do you know? Listen, as you said, listen to him talk about Donald Trump. Literally anybody randomly chosen would be better for that office than Donald Trump. And he emphatically on his podcast went on and on and on about it. And I listened to the whole thing, and I'm like, dude, this is an emotional argument coming out of personal hatred, and I can hear the anger in your voice.
We have a winner. Yes, exactly. When he was on Real Time with Bill Maher and was going against Batman, what the fuck is his name? Fuck. The guy's playing Batman.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, he was going against Ben Affleck. Yes.
Ben Affleck. That's him. Yeah. Absolutely. I was on his side. I was on Ben. Shit. Now I've got them all mixed up. Fuck. He was absolutely right to point out that Ben
Affleck was just
wrong.
taking the SJW route, saying anything critical of Islam, pointing out that Muhammad was a warlord, which he was. You know, it's the Islamic position. He was a warlord on behalf of God. Like, it's seriously like nobody denies it, not even Muslims. So what's your problem? It's just,
but you're not allowed to say anything. That's actually something that bothers me about atheists. And I've started fucking with them on Twitter about it, because they will go after Christians hard, and that's fine. Okay.
Right.
They won't say shit about Jews or Muslims.
No, of course. Oh God, no. And it's
wait a minute.
People say, well, I meant all religions. Yeah, but like Armored Skeptic, your target is always the small country church with 50 people in its congregation that teaches flat earth theory. Talking about low-hanging fruit. I still can't believe that. Okay, you want to talk about emotionalism and admitting just anger? Yeah, I don't like that, man. It's just, Armored Skeptic has just been riding off of the same low-hanging fruit forever. He never says anything new. It's just repeating it. And I don't get how a core audience could want to hear one person repeat the same points over and over again, which are
easy.
Bill Maher condescension. Oh, look how stupid these people are. I use rationalism, reason, science, empiricism to debunk them. You don't understand any of those things, Armored Shill. You just use the words. Anyway,
here's how. And this is something that came up during the Great Skeptic implosion. There was a lot of people made the point you just did. We've heard this all before. Excuse me. Nobody wants to hear the same thing. Nobody. Rush Limbaugh, man's been on the air for 30 fucking years, and he says the same. The only thing that changes is what story he's talking about, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not bashing Rush. I enjoy his show. I don't agree with him all the time, but I think he's a very good entertainer. And he tells his audience, he knows his audience. I don't want to say he knows his audience, and that's what he plays to. And
Rush has an advantage, as do a lot of conservative talk radio people, in that they can have the same point, but because the actors are constantly changing, it always seems new. Does that make sense?
It does. And that's what I mean, Armored Skeptic could do that.
He could.
He could.
By the way, I'm going to debunk creationism for like the 100th time, or I'm going to go after this for the, I mean, it shouldn't amaze me why it's effective. It's effective in the same way that People Magazine is effective. People like hearing about couples. Him and Shu are a couple.
Yes.
Shu's cute. Therefore, there's this interest in them in the same way that there's an interest in Kanye and Kim Kardashian. Like I do get it. It just bugs me.
But again, to me, the big part, and I'm probably going to end up getting kicked off Twitter for that. Is
what did you do?
Why don't you go? I've started pushing. Why don't you go after the Jews and the Muslims?
Yeah,
you guys got big old balls when it's coming after the Christians, where you're not going to get kicked off Twitter for that. You're not going to suffer any consequence for going after what's that those fucking weirdos?
The 40-member congregation, God hates fags, them people.
Yeah,
the Westboro Baptist Church.
Westboro, thank you.
Yeah,
you go after them all you want. Nobody's going to care.
There's fucking 40 of them. 40. Yeah. It's talk about punching above your weight class, huh? Man, they have notoriety, them people.
Go out there and say something bad about the Jews right now. See what happens.
Or well, how about everybody's favorite target? Your boy Pat just said Jacqueline Glenn's the same way. And I'm not a fan of Jacqueline Glenn, but I mean, she loves going after the Catholic Church. And it's like, punching at a safe target, huh? It's like, I don't know. To me, Jacqueline Glenn, it just, in my opinion, it's fine. I know a lot of people like her, and that's great. But what I hear is her complaining when she talks about atheism, she talks about religion. I hear her handling in public what she should be handling in therapy.
That woman needs therapy bad.
It's like, I realize you had some uncomfortable, like you didn't like going to church as a kid. You didn't like these messages you were hearing as a kid. Yeah, handle it in therapy, not on social media. because you're not going to get better in your own life, and this chip on your shoulder will never go away, because she just sounds like she's got a big old chip on her shoulder. I don't know.
Well, again, it's the thing. These are the easy targets. How many jokes do you see on Twitter or YouTube where they're talking about Catholic priests banging kids? They're
a billion. You can't say Catholic priest without somebody saying pedophile right after.
Right, exactly.
And the blunt truth of it is the prevalence of molesters, male molesters, is no higher amongst the Roman Catholic priesthood than it is amongst any other area of society. In fact, the prevalence of it is exactly the same. So it's what you should expect to see. The criminal and immoral part of it is the cover up. There's the damnable part.
Sure.
When they're covering up what they're doing. But you will find the same prevalence of molesting men in Boy Scouts, in schools, on playgrounds, anywhere else you're going to find in R. Kelly's studio, where you're going to find the same prevalence of molesting men. It's only bad because, well, it's the church and they should do this, and it makes a great target, and it sells newspapers and generates clicks, and that's why the New York Times will never shut up about it every time that it happens. Don't get me wrong. I think the criminal and immoral act is when the church covers up what they're doing. But the idea that all Catholic priests, there's hundreds of thousands of them in the world, right?
The guy who's sitting says, you say you're going to get kicked off Twitter for saying armored skeptics should debunk some Jew stuff. I thought Twitter condoned that kind of stuff. No, it's not. I don't think I've addressed it at armored skeptic at all. I've so far just done it in general, asking atheists, why don't you guys go after Jews and Muslims? And I'm not saying, go attack one Jew specifically, because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about debunking their beliefs, and they won't do it because in our society, those are off limits.
Sleepy Doodle just said bullshit in all caps. Okay.
So what?
I'd like to know what. Not everything I say is perfect, and I'm not above criticism. So what? But
what I was you can make jokes all you want about Catholic priests being pedophiles. Try making a joke about an imam being a terrorist.
Right. Like
even when we have them like on video saying you should go out and blow up stuff. There was one of those. And that just don't talk about it.
And it comes from the Ben Affleck thing that started this conversation. It's like don't say that. Whereas I do not believe that Affleck would have been saying anything had Harris been sitting there criticizing the Eastern Orthodox Church with its 400 million member congregants, whatever. I don't believe.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, it's like we need to move away from this myths of the past. And it's like, what about Islam? And it's like, hey, whoa, he even called it he said it's racist, it's gross.
Racist.
And I think Ben Affleck is just working overtime. That guy's wringing his hands with white guilt. He's going to get him down to the bone soon. It's like, Ben, you don't need to do this, man. What are you doing?
Because there are protected religions, and so many of the atheists that I've seen, what they did is they came out against Christianity. They never came out actually against religion. They came out against Christianity, and that's allowed. As to where was that at? The pissed off Shih Tzu says, "Monkey, try telling a joke that Muhammad is a pedo." Well. This is one of my favorite tweets I've seen recently. It says, I don't always marry first graders, but when I do, I wait until they're in third grade before I violate them like my goats. Now, he may look like Jesus, but I'm not telling you who that is because I don't want to get in trouble on Twitter or on YouTube or Twitter.
Well, Cynical Lindsay just said there, no religion should be exempt from criticism, period.
Sure.
I agree, but then you have the I don't know the name of it, the body of in the EU Human Rights Commission. And it's like, no, criticism of Muhammad is not protected free speech. And it's like, and that's the first, but Jesus is fine. The Buddha apparently would be fine. You know what I mean? Zoroaster would be fine. So there's one protected religion in the EU. And
real quick, Festering Wound had said bullshit earlier, and he answered what about? He says Greg has his own gravity. You're not wrong. He has lost weight though. So yeah, I think he was objecting to that. to people watching him because of Shu or because of their relationship.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I you know, all I have to say that is I know that they have a hell of a lot of followers that when you talk about Armored Skeptic, Shu comes up immediately, and maybe that's anecdotal. Like I said, I'm trying to get a sense of why people like his content because I can't stand it. So, and I admitted that it was a personal taste thing. So, hey, TJ Kirk, our amazing atheist, I am surprised that guy still has a following. He still gets good views considering how long he's been doing the same thing. People said, "Oh, his channel's dead." Why? Because he's got like what 1.2 or 2.2 whatever fucking million followers and only gets 100,000 views a video. He gets 100,000 views a video. That's amazing after how long he's been doing it, considering it's the same fucking lines over and over again. Greasy fucking pothead carrying on about how bad the Christians are. Like,
yeah, I just want one of these guys to grow some balls and do a video about how bad the Muslims and Jews are. You can do it as one video. Just do it as one video. Talk about, you know, what they do and teach their children and see how well that works out for you.
Okay, Andre Martin says, the European Court of Human Rights is not associated with the European Union, but almost all countries are part of the same organizations. Okay.
Occasionally he says something interesting, but mostly he smokes weed and talks about 80s TV now.
Really?
I haven't watched Amazing Atheist probably in 6-7 months. And the last time I watched a Armored Skeptic video, it was because what the fuck is his name? Shit, my brain is not helping me.
What
guy
happened?
who wears a black mask. Logic, thank you. Yeah, the last time I watched a Armored Skeptic video was because Logic had ripped into him, and I wanted to see what was said before I went and watched Logic's video on him.
Wasn't that happened again, like in the past several months?
He's done it. No, I don't know if it's happened. It might have been 6-8 months ago at this point. He did it over the whole Armored Skeptic clone thing, which was funny. That one was devastating. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
But then he did it again over C16 in Canada. He just ripped Greg up and down because he didn't get anything right in his video talking about it. There's reasons to hate C16. What's it, C16 or was it the Oh no, it was the Canada bill about taking children away from parents if they don't support them as
if they want to be
trans.
transgender.
Yeah.
The state being able to seize them, etc. I don't know what happened with that, how that all turned out. Oh, speaking of things going on in Canada, did you? I've been gone for a little bit over 2 weeks, so this is all new to me. You know what I mean? Lindsay Shepherd getting sued by her 2 inquisitors.
Yes, it's.
I just found out the whole story behind that, and I'm like, my God, man! Wasn't even aware Jordan Peterson was suing them.
Yeah, it's coming about because of the Jordan Peterson suit. She said, and yeah, those 2 assholes who drug her into a room to tell her how horrible she was and made her famous. Good job, dummies. It
is my sincere, ardent hope. I don't know if this is the case, but God, I hope that they are being sued and they are in turn suing her, that any damages that they have to pay to Jordan Peterson are actually the responsibility of Lindsay Shepherd, because she's the one who made the video public without their consent. And
yeah, for those, real quick, let's bring people up to speed. For those of you who don't know, Lindsay Shepherd was a TA, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
She wasn't
she was a TA for Rembukana's class, and Dr. Rembukana was the professor supervising her teaching assistants for the tutorials that she was in charge of, the tutorial classes. And
she showed a short clip of a Jordan Peterson video, and she got pulled into a meeting where they yelled at her.
It wasn't even a Jordan Peterson. Well, it was a clip from the Canadian broadcasting network, like Canadian national TV, like Canadian BBC. It was a news program where they were debating the use of non-gendered pronouns. So it was a 5-minute news clip that Jordan Peterson was on. Just to be, that's how innocuous it was.
They pulled her into a private meeting where they yelled at her repeatedly for it, to the point they made her cry. But she was smart enough to record it. And when she got out of that meeting, she released it on the internet, and it blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
The college apologized to her because she did nothing wrong. And now these two assholes are suing her. And the last I saw was just her announcing it, and she said she'd give more information later. But I haven't seen anything that's happened since.
The P-Dog Knight actually sums it up in a sentence really nicely. They're suing her for any liability in the Peterson case against them. Exactly.
Yeah, good job. Good job, dummies.
And like I said, it is my ardent hope that those two are so mired by this, that their public image has been so badly affected that they're actually afraid of what's going to happen with the Peterson suit, and that they're in turn suing her because their career may not lie in ruins, but it's been severely damaged. Because I sincerely hope it has been, because I want this to be a chilling effect throughout academia, where it's because, oh yeah, it's not like I'm in grad school and I haven't dealt with parts of that. Like it's that there's certain things I would not have shown a Jordan Peterson video. I'm amazed she had the balls to do it. And she said she did it out of naivete, which I understand. It's like, I could see, why would this be a problem? I already knew it was going to be a problem. I wouldn't have even tried doing what was as ballsy as you did. And the way she stood up for herself in that meeting was, yes, she broke tears a few times. They accused her of violating the policy of the department, the policy against hate speech of the university, the human rights laws of the province that she was in, and of the entire country. Like, could you have put more weight upon this poor grad student who showed a news
for showing a short clip from their TV, for fuck's sake?
And under that much pressure, and the social justice commissar for the university was in the room at the time, and she still stood up for herself the whole way, even though she showed tears. That was balls, man. Like, Lindsay Shepherd is she was a fucking Marine. Like, I don't know how I would have held up under that kind of fucking institutional pressure like that.
From the original, she said, I mean, she was more left leaning, and they have turned her pretty solid right. Good job, dummies. Because she gets to see. This is what I talk about with the "we believe" thing. It's amazing to be for something until you're the one who's being fucked by it.
Mm-hmm.
Ranting Monkey, the left controls Canada for fuck's sake. Their PM is an SJW. Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, but you know what? I looked into some aspects of it. It's like she did not. Benjamin Boyce, I don't know if you ever watch it. He does a lot of Evergreen. The Washington State University over there. What's it called? Evergreen State College. Yeah. I got a super chat there.
Thank you, Cryptic. I'd make her an honorary Marine.
Yeah. And speaking of Riley, unlike Riley, I mean like a figurative Marine, as in tough as nails. I'm not going to do a Riley Dennis and say that Dr. Blasey Ford is braver than any Marine ever.
Oh, God.
I cringe because, saying someone's a Marine is an old statement because you're referring to the thing that's tough as nails that could take anything, right? You don't say they're braver than a Marine.
and then stand by it when you're called out for it. I stand by it. You're a fucking moron is what you are.
Yeah, Evergreen State College. And yeah, Benjamin Boyce is fantastic, says P-Dog Knight. Yeah, his channel really is. He's a soft-spoken, thoughtful guy he went to Evergreen State. So it's sort of like the place that he went has become just destroyed. Like, imagine your alma mater has just become this cesspool of insanity. So he covers it, the ongoing debacle that is that. And he's talked about the Lindsay Shepherd thing a lot. And he went over the actual court record that was filed by Rembukana, and I can't remember the other person's name, who are both suing Lindsay Shepherd. And they claim things that are patently false. It was the president of the university, Sir Wilfrid Laurier University, already admitted there wasn't an actual student complaint, not one.
Right, yeah, because that was what they said, is that they'd had a complaint.
Yeah, from
they had complaints.
Yeah. Well, she said, well, I can't, well, there are confidentiality issues. Her supervisor, Rembukana, responds, and she goes, I can't even know how many. She said, no, one or more. The investigation on that the president started, turned out that there were none. There wasn't a single registered complaint from students. So it was really, one would guess, Rembukana and this other person and the social justice commissar in the room that had the issue with it, not students. That there was an unsafe environment created for trans people because they had to hear Jordan Peterson say things he said on the news.
Real quick, Cryptic, thank you. That's a disrespect to me and my Marine family, shitbag Riley Dickelson. Yeah, that when I read that tweet, I was like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your fucking mind?" Anyway, dude, we got to wrap this up. I've been at it for a while, and
it's time for a fresh coffee for me anyhow. So
yeah, so chat guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Some of you have been here the whole time, you crazy bastards. Thank you for the super chats. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. I don't have the words, and I speak for a living, for fuck's sake. Seriously, thank you so much. Polly, anything you want to shill?
Yeah, one final time, I will throw my link up in chat. There it is. To my channel where we do comic book curation, a live stream once a week, and then plus little individual videos here and there. We're Inquisitor and Jack from Bad Comic Reviews and myself, of course, get together and do our little stream and have our little fun and talk about pop culture in and around comic books, and we have a good time with it. Come on by, see what you think.
Don't forget to check out Sinatra Says and Irate Bear and his Irate Alex channel. Follow them on Twitter. You know the drill. I will be on Ghost Poo Podcast here in 2 hours at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then tonight, this is Tuesday, right? Is this Tuesday?
No, it's Monday.
This is Monday? Then, sure. God damn. This is what happens when your job is YouTube. You lose track of the day. Tonight, we will be on Satsu 2 cents for Lords of the Night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be on 2 cents plus after that, playing 7 Days to Die. Don't forget this broadcast is brought to you by the Ranting Monkey. Thank you, guys. I'd like to thank Sinatra, Bear, Polly. Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone, we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
See you later, everyone.